Xia Kingdom, Song Prefecture, Kanglan City, wake up, Feng. Hurry and wake up. In a daze, Qin Feng felt someone shaking him. He slowly opened his eyes and saw a distorted face illuminated by the light of a cell phone, startling him greatly. Damn it! But it did not take long for Qin Feng to figure out who this fool was. Qi, what are you doing? Can't you sleep in the middle of the night? Are you out of your mind? Qin Feng grabbed the phone beside his pillow to check the time. It was 4 in the morning. His full name was Guan Qi, but everyone called him Lao Qi. He and Qin Feng had grown up side by side, both raised in the same orphanage. If their bond wasn't tighter than blood brothers, Qin Feng would have really wanted to slap him. Still, he held back his anger, waiting for Guan Qi to explain himself. If the boy did not have a proper reason, this rude midnight disturbance would never be forgiven. Feng, today is our awakening day. Aren't you excited? Aren't you looking forward to it? Guan Qi leaned over the bedside, brimming with excitement. Qin Feng glanced at him. Not excited. Not looking forward to anything. If you've got nothing else to say, go back to sleep. I'm exhausted. Huh? Guan Qi scratched his head, confused by how calm Qin Feng was. This was awakening day. People could awaken extraordinary talents. Anyone who unlocked a powerful talent could rewrite their fate and soar to great heights. Off you go? Don't bother me again, or I'll beat you. Qin Feng pushed Guan Qi away, rolled over, pulled the quilt over his head, and ignored him to resume sleeping. Remember to close the door on your way out. Sure thing. Guan Qi stared at the mound of quilt hiding Qin Feng. Qin Feng was a soul transmigrator, originally a man from Earth. In his past life, a fortune teller had told him he would reach a life-altering turning point at 18. If he crossed that hurdle, great fortune awaited him, and he would rise far in life. Qin Feng had to admit the fortune teller's prediction was eerily accurate. Taking a curve, meeting great fortune, soaring upward, and then his soul somehow traveled to this world. This world was known as Blue Planet. Its technology and civilization were largely similar to Earth, with one critical difference. This was a world of supernatural power. 300 years ago, abyss rifts descended upon Blue Planet. Countless monsters, savage beasts, and fiends surged forth from the fissures like tides. From that moment onward, the whole world became systemized, operating like a game. Every person gained one chance to awaken their talent upon turning 16. The talent they received was entirely random, following no fixed rules. Talents were ranked across 9 tiers: SSS, SS, S, A, B, C, D, E, F. Professionals fell into 3 categories: combat professionals, life professionals, and special professionals. Combat professionals covered 6 main branches: shield bearer, assassin, mage, cleric, knight, and archer. Each profession branched into numerous subclasses, giving rise to rare and mighty practitioners. Take shield bearers as an example. One subclass was warrior. Anyone who awakened a battle spirit talent could choose to become a warrior. Warriors possessed greater attack power than shield bearers, yet lacked their formidable defense. Every profession came with its own weaknesses. Talent awakening existed largely to complement these professional paths. Life professionals included chefs, cleaners, horticulturists, weavers, and many other commonplace occupations. Special professionals encompassed blacksmiths, appraisers, rune engravers, alchemists, gem crafters, and more. All in all, aside from the 6 core combat professions, people could awaken almost any conceivable occupation. The supernatural phenomenon had only arrived 300 years prior, and countless secrets remained undiscovered. Dawn, Kanglan No. 1 High School. Today was awakening day. Thousands upon thousands of students assembled on the sports field from early morning. Kanglan No. 1 High School housed the only awakening stele within Kanglan City capable of unlocking talents. Though Kanglan City was merely a small city under the jurisdiction of Tsang Prefecture, its population was substantial. Every year, all 16-year-olds within the city limits gathered here for the awakening ceremony. Feng, I never imagined the annual awakening day would draw such a huge crowd. Guan Qi stared at the sea of people in awe. Kanglan City may be small, but tens of thousands of children are born here each year. This turnout is hardly surprising. Qin Feng stuffed his hands into his pockets and strolled slowly toward his classroom. That makes sense. Guan Qi nodded in agreement. Feng, Qi, wait for me. A clear, pleasant voice called out from behind them. It was Su Juzhou. Like Guan Qi, she was an orphan from the same orphanage. The 3 shared an extremely close bond. That's Juzhou. Qin Feng and Guan Qi exchanged a glance, stopping to turn around. Su Juzhou soon caught up to them. I'm completely out of breath, Su Juzhou gasped. Why run so fast? Qin Feng ruffled her hair. Feng, today's awakening day. Of course I rushed over as soon as I could. Su Jojo said earnestly. See? Even Jojo is excited for the awakening. And you're the only one who couldn't care less. Guan Qi shot Qin Feng a look. Huh? Feng, you aren't excited. Su Jojo looked confused. This day could change all our lives. She voiced the exact same thought as Guan Qi. Qin Feng shook his head. What's the point of getting excited? Awakening talent depends purely on luck. Can I force the heavens to grant me a powerful talent just because I want one? No. Often, the higher your hopes, the heavier your disappointment. There's no use indulging in empty fantasies. We ought to plan for our futures instead. We're all 16 now. Starting next month, we'll need to support ourselves. Qin Feng's words pulled Guan Qi and Su Jojo back to reality. Unconsciously, they had reached the age of 16. They could not rely on government subsidies forever. All three were orphans. Their parents had died on the battlefield fighting savage beasts. Blue Planet operated under game, like system rules. Without revival items, death was permanent. The state provided stipends for war orphans, 600 star coins each month. It was not a large sum, but enough to get by. Star coins were the universal currency issued by the Blue Planet Alliance. The three pushed through the throng and finally reached their classroom, Senior Class 2. Before stepping inside, Qin Feng overheard classmates debating which academy they would attend after awakening. If I unlock an S grade talent, I'm definitely getting into Vermilion Bird Academy. I'll become the pride of Kanglan City. Xia Kingdom hosted 4 major supernatural academies: Black Tortoise Academy in Zhong Prefecture, Azure Dragon Academy in Qing Prefecture, Vermilion Bird Academy in Song Prefecture, and White Tiger Academy in Linyuan. An S grade talent? You're dreaming, Ho Xiaoshan. Past records show only 1 or 2 people out of 10,000 awaken S grade talents. Do you really think you'll be one of them? Ho Xiaoshan's face flushed red. He wanted to retort, yet he knew the truth and mumbled weakly. Can I hope? Lu Cheng, don't you wish you'd awaken a high-tier talent too? Lu Cheng's eyes lit up with longing. Yeah, of course I hope for an S grade talent. TCH, why even argue then? We're both just daydreamers. Ho Xiaoshan rolled his eyes. Look at the two of you making wishes. I've got realistic expectations. An A grade talent would be fantastic, or at minimum a B grade. You've got to know your limits. True. A B grade combat talent would be enough to turn our fortunes around. Qin Feng and his 2 companions walked into the classroom unnoticed by the chattering students. Returning to his seat, Qin Feng rested his head on the desk to catch a short nap. Ring. The school bell echoed through the hallway. Click-clack. The homeroom teacher of Senior Class 2, Zhou Yun, approached in high heels. Feng, wake up. The Demon Queen is here. Guan Qi shook Qin Feng's shoulder. Qin Feng yawned as he woke, rubbing his bleary eyes. He had noticed himself feeling far sleepier these days, constantly craving rest. Moments later, Zhou Yun entered the classroom. She scanned her students with satisfaction. When her gaze landed on Qin Feng and saw his sleepy expression, she shook her head lightly. She did not linger on him, shifting her attention to Guan Qi instead. Guan Qi was tall and strongly built, a promising prospect. If he awakened a high-tier professional talent, it would be a brilliant achievement for her teaching career. If a student from her class unlocked an S grade heavenly talent, no reward could compare to that accomplishment. At every gathering afterward, she could proudly announce she had mentored an S grade genius. Class, today is the annual awakening day, the most important day of your lives, the day that will decide your fate. Zhou Yun began her speech. Awakening a fine talent merely grants you a solid foundation, a ticket to change your destiny. To truly rise to greatness, you must also succeed in the examination 1 month from now. The college entrance examination will be your stepping stone, your chance to prove yourselves to everyone. Attending a top academy means access to greater resources, advanced professional skills, and confidential core knowledge. She glanced at the delicate watch on her wrist. I will keep my speech brief. Everyone, line up and follow me to the Awakening Plaza. Zhou Yun stepped out of the classroom, and the students filed out behind her. When Senior Class 2 arrived at the Awakening Plaza, the area was already packed. Students of Kanglan No. 1 High School had reserved their own zone. Once all senior classes assembled, Wu De, the school principal, stepped onto the podium to speak. Ahem. Testing. Students, I'm sure you all know what today is. I'll skip unnecessary formalities. I'll keep my remarks short. 1 hour later. Down in the crowd, Guan Qi stared at Principal Wu, who still spoke loudly and passionately from the podium. He wanted nothing more than to drag the man off the stage. This principal is unbelievable. He trapped us here for a full hour. If he trained in control-type abilities, nobody in this world would stand a chance against him. Simply a few words, my foot. He rambled on about the present and the future nonstop. Quiet. Zhou Yan suddenly appeared beside Guanxi. Guanxi had not expected the teacher to overhear his complaints. Still, he would graduate soon, free from her supervision at last. On the podium, Wu De noticed the students growing restless and finally brought his speech to an end. Now, I declare the annual awakening ceremony of Kanglan No. 1 High School officially open. He returned to his seat. Cheers erupted from the crowd. The roar of tens of thousands of people boomed across the plaza. Students of Senior Class 1 stepped forward to awaken in order. A teacher overseeing the ceremony called into the microphone. Senior Class 1 was the elite class of Kanglan No. 1 High School. Its students came from wealthy or influential families. The schools separated the elite class to ease class conflicts. People from vastly different social circles would easily clash if forced together. Of course, ordinary classes were not entirely filled with commoners. Rivalries existed even among powerful families, who chose to place their children in separate classes. Li Badeo, C. Grade Talent, Chef. Su Kuan, B. Grade Talent, Flame Apostle. Lu Yu, C. Grade Talent, Instructor. Zheng Xiaoshuang, C. Grade Time Passed. Half of Senior Class 1 had completed their awakening, and Su Kuan's B. Grade Talent remained the best result so far. Jiang Cheng, the homeroom teacher of Senior Class 1, wore a grim expression. He had held high hopes for this batch of students. Beside Wu De on the podium, an elderly man smiled. Old friend, looks like your students aren't all that impressive this year. Wu De glanced at him. Kong Erlingzi, I'm not worried about my students, so why are you? The elder Wu De teased was Kong Yajun, principal of Kanglan No. 2 High School. Kanglan No. 2 High School had always fallen behind Kanglan No. 1 High School, whether at the awakening ceremony or the college entrance examinations. Given his name Yajun, meaning runner, up, Wu De had nicknamed him Kong Air, which gradually turned into Kong Erlingzi, Foolish Kong II. Kong Yajun often wondered if his name brought him bad luck, dooming him to always take second place. Just then, a vibrant green pillar of light shot upward from the awakening steel, reaching 6 zhang into the air. Zheng Yao, A. Grade Talent, Light of Healing. It's here, a 6 zhang green pillar, an A. Grade Talent, Light of Healing, suited for the cleric profession. Joy spread across Jiang Cheng's face. There we go. Wu De turned toward the other principal. Merely an A. Grade Talent. Nothing to boast about, Kong Yajun retorted, unwilling to concede. The appearance of the first A. Grade Talent stirred commotion among the onlookers. Feng, does the height of the light pillar correspond to talent tier? Guanxi stared at the towering green light. The A. Grade Talent produced a 6 zhang pillar. Perhaps, Qin Feng replied ambiguously. As Qin Feng and Guanxi whispered, an even brighter purple beam burst forth from the awakening platform. Li Hongwei, S. Grade Talent, Annihilation Thunder. An S. Grade Talent. A 9 zhang pillar. Guanxi exclaimed. His earlier assumption had been wrong. The pillar height was not a direct match for talent tiers. Ha ha ha, excellent. We finally have an S. Grade Talent, a Thunder Mage to boot. Principal Wu De grinned from the podium. An A. Grade Talent was respectable, yet in Wu De's eyes, nothing extraordinary. Though only one tier separated A. Grade and S. Grade, the gap between them was an unbridgeable chasm. The disparity widened even further as power grew. Kong Yajun's mouth twitched as he watched the 9 zhang purple pillar. The pressure weighed heavily on his school now. Wu De sipped his tea calmly, smiling. This tea is wonderful. Old Kong, have a cup. Why sit there glowering? I have no appetite for tea right now. Kong Yajun refused to engage. Wu De laughed heartily, delighted to see Kong Yajun at a loss for words. Brotherly, congratulations on awakening an S. Grade Talent. Your Li clan will surely rise even higher. Several followers rushed over to curry favor with Li Hongwei. Haha, you're right. Stick with me from now on, and you won't lack benefits. Li Hongwei patted Wang Lei's shoulder. Tell everyone tonight I'm treating. Eat and drink to your heart's content on me. Li Hongwei was the third son of the direct line of the powerful Li clan of Kanglan City. The clan ran businesses across the city and employed many professional fighters. An S. Grade Thunder Mage. I doubt Su Qingxue can top this. Li Hongwei's gaze drifted toward a cold, elegant girl standing some distance away. Su Qingxue was the school beauty of Kanglan No. 1 High School. Her icy temperament earned her the nickname Ice Lotus. Though Li Hongwei hailed from the powerful Li clan, he dared not harbor improper thoughts towards Su Qingxue. His family had sternly warned him that Su Qingxue was far beyond the Li clan's ability to provoke. If they offended her, the clan would abandon him without hesitation. Li Hongwei had once plotted to approach her, but his family crushed the scheme before he could act. He felt grateful they had warned him early. Otherwise, he might have lost his life without knowing why. After Li Hongwei awakened his S-grade talent, it seemed all the good fortune had been drained. The next dozen students only unlocked C-grade and D-grade talents. Qingxue, it's almost our turn. I'm going first, Xiaolan, the girl beside Su Qingxue spoke. Su Qingxue replied coldly, her expression unchanged. Xiaolan, A-grade talent, Knight's Shield. I awakened an A-grade talent. Xiaolan could barely believe her eyes. She had obtained an A-grade combat talent. Back in the classroom, Xiaolan immediately turned to Su Qingxue to boast. Qingxue, you'll never guess. I've awakened an A-rank combat occupation, a knight who can buff teammates. As the saying goes, support stay constant while damage dealers come and go. My occupation is rarer than healers. I'm tough enough to take hits and have reliable means to protect myself. I'm sure you'll awaken an A-rank talent too. Su Qingxue replied, then walked toward the awakening steel. TCH, putting on airs? I only bother talking to you because my family told me to build a good relationship with you. Always acting cold and aloof, pretending to be something you're not. Let's see how composed you stay if you awaken a useless talent, Xiaolan muttered bitterly, staring at Su Qingxue's retreating figure. On the podium, Principal Wu sat up straight the moment he spotted Su Qingxue, anticipation lighting up his face. Noticing Principal Wu's expression, Principal Kong immediately realized the young woman was extraordinary. Setting aside her stunning looks, the noble aura emanating from her made it clear she was no ordinary person from the small city of Kanglan. Old friend, who is that girl? She's from the Su clan. Principal Wu did not hide the truth. It cost me a great deal to bring her here from the Su household. The Su clan? Could it be the Su clan based in the provincial capital of Zhangzhou? Principal Kong Yajun's eyes widened in shock. Across Zhangzhou, the Su clan wielded immense influence, and they ranked among the most powerful families nationwide. The clan's patriarch, Su Zhengfeng, was one of the first-generation champions. First-generation champions referred to those who survived the arrival of the Abyss Rift 300 years ago and remained alive to this day. The realm hierarchy of this world was straightforward. Awakener levels 1 to 30, First Transformation Tier 1, levels 31 to 60. Tier 2, levels 61 to 100, Second Transformation, Destiny Skill levels 101 to 200, Third Transformation, Destiny Artifact levels 201 to 300, Fourth Transformation, Destiny Soul levels 301 to 400, Fifth Transformation, Origin levels 401 to 500, Sixth Transformation, Laws levels 501 to 600. The Su clan patriarch was a mighty Origin realm expert above level 400. Within the entire nation of Xia, fewer than 10 people had reached the Origin realm, and no one had ever been recorded breaking through to the Law realm. Wu, crackle, at the awakening steel, a white pillar of light, twice as tall as that of an S-rank talent, shot straight into the sky. An illusory ice phoenix appeared alongside it. With one flap of its wings, temperatures plummeted dozens of meters outward, and thick frost instantly spread across the ground. A phenomenon. It's a phenomenon, and it bears the mark of the divine beast phoenix. Principal Kong leaned forward, eyes bulging. Su Qingxue, SS-rank talent, Ice Frost Phoenix. Haraha, an 18-jong pillar of light, an SS-rank talent, and an extremely rare ice attribute. If she follows the mage path, she'll wield devastating destructive power alongside area crowd control. Principal Wu trembled with excitement. He had been approaching retirement, yet he now witnessed an SS-rank talent awaken, and this prodigy had been brought to Kanglan by his own efforts. Well played, old Wu. I truly admire you, Kong Yajun conceded. He finally understood Principal Wu's plan. He never imagined Principal Wu possessed such connections, capable of drawing the peerless young lady of the Su clan to the obscure city of Kanglan. If Kanglan City produced an SS-rank genius, the nation would turn its gaze toward this region, bringing greater resource allocations next year. Principal Wu dared not hope for an SSS-rank monster, but he had devised a plan to secure an SS-rank talent. There was no way to predict talent awakening, yet he could leverage his connections to take a gamble. If he succeeded, Kanglan City would rise to a new tier. If he failed, he would only sacrifice a little personal prestige. At his age, what did a little reputation matter? It was a deal with no downsides, no matter how you looked at it. Boom, boom, boom. Sharp sonic booms echoed from afar, quickly reaching the sky above Kanglan No. 1 High School. A man clad in golden armor hovered overhead, hands clasped behind his back. His features were resolute, and striking golden pupils radiated overwhelming authority. So powerful. This is what a true expert looks like. One day I'll become just like him. No, even stronger. Then I can protect Feng Ge and Xiao Jiao. Guanxi, standing in the crowd below, stared up at the golden-armored figure, filled with admiration. Senior Wu, I am Su Muyang. I hope you will forgive my unannounced visit. The golden-armored man bowed respectfully toward Principal Wu from high above. Muyang, what perfect timing. Your younger sister has just awakened an SS-rank talent, an exceedingly rare ice affinity. Principal Wu waved for Su Muyang to come closer. At those words, Su Muyang turned toward the awakening steel and saw his sister's SS rank awakening for himself. In the next instant, he flashed across the distance, appearing beside Su Qingxue. SS rank ice talent. Well done, Xiao Shui. The familiar voice she had not heard in years stirred emotion on Su Qingxue's normally icy face. Brother, why have you come to Kanglan? I was passing through the city and came to see you. Su Muyang reached out and ruffled her hair. Stop messing up my hair. I've grown up. I'm no longer the child you can tease so easily. Su Qingxue stepped back, staring at him with a pout. Haha, it's hard to believe 16 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Su Muyang shook his head and laughed. I'll go speak with Senior Wu first. I'll find you again shortly. Su Qingxue nodded. All right. It had been 3 years since Principal Wu brought Su Qingxue away from the Su clan. Su Muyang had not met his little sister in all that time. It was not forbidden for her to return home, but Su Muyang was occupied with his own duties, and Su Qingxue studied far from the provincial capital, leaving little chance for them to meet. Su Muyang's arrival was merely a brief interlude during the awakening ceremony. Su Qingxue's SS rank awakening, however, sent shockwaves rippling through the entire school. For 300 years, no SS rank talent had ever appeared within Kanglan City. This day would forever be recorded in the annals of Kanglan No. 1 High School. Back among her classmates, Xiaolan watched Su Qingxue, the center of everyone's attention, and jealousy gnawed at her heart more fiercely than ever. Why did her family order her to curry favor with Su Qingxue, merely because of her superior family background? They were classmates who underwent awakening on the same day. Why did Su Qingxue get an SS rank talent? Why her? What did she lack? The more she thought about it, the deeper her resentment grew, twisting her mind. Still, she dared not reveal her bitter envy. Leaving Su Qingxue's powerful clan aside, her elder brother stood speaking with the principal, and anyone with sense could feel the overwhelming power he exuded. To fly through the air and break the sound barrier with only his physical body, what realm of strength did that require? Xiaolan had no answer, nor did Li Hongwei. In their understanding, second transformation destiny skill experts represented the absolute peak, capable of leveling mountains with a single skill. Yet they had never heard of anyone able to shatter the sound barrier with raw physical power. Time slowly passed, and all students of Class 3 to 1 finished their awakenings. 1 SS rank, 1 S rank, and 3 A rank talents emerged from the class. Soon it was the turn of Class 3 to 2, the class where Qin Feng studied. Feng Ge, Xiao Jiao, it's finally our class's turn. Guanxi pumped his fists excitedly, his eyes blazing with anticipation. Qin Feng did not respond to Guanxi. Anxiety stirred within him. He was not originally from this world, and he wondered if he would manage to awaken a talent at all. How could anyone survive in this extraordinary world without supernatural talent? There was no use worrying now. He could only take things one step at a time. Ho Xiaoshan, C-rank talent. Flamingo. Lu Cheng, B-rank talent. Black Tortoise Shield. Zhao Cixi, A-rank talent. Shadow Shroud. An A-rank talent. Impressive. A rare smile appeared on Zhou Yun's face when she saw Zhao Cixi's awakening. Zhao Cixi was the monitor of Class 3 to 2, and Zhou Yun held high hopes for her. The young woman had not disappointed her teacher. Teacher, I've awakened an A-rank talent. Zhao Cixi hurried back to her teacher to share her joy. Excellent. Keep working hard, and strive to earn admission to one of the 4 great academies a month from now. Zhou Yun smiled warmly. Thank you, teacher. Zhao Cixi nodded. Congratulations, monitor. With an A-rank talent, you're destined to soar. Many classmates offered sincere well wishes. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure each of you will awaken the talent you hope for. Zhao Cixi thanked them all. Feng Ge, it's my turn. Guanxi glanced at Zhao Cixi, then turned toward Qin Feng beside him. Don't be nervous, Lao Qi. Qin Feng clapped him on the shoulder. Good luck, 7th brother. Su Jojo called out to him. Got it. Guan Shi waved and strode toward the awakening steel without looking back. He stepped before the monument, placed his palm against its surface. Runes on the steel lit up instantly. An aura of unbreakable defense swept outward, and a tawny pillar of light, matching the height of Su Qingshue's, shot toward the heavens. W8, 18 Zhang. An 18 Zhang pillar of light. SS rank. Another SS rank talent. Kanglan City has finally birthed a true SS rank genius. Principal Wu shot to his feet in his chair, overcome with elation. While Su Qingxue had awakened at Kanglan No. 1 High School, she was not a native of Kanglan. This newly awakened SS rank prodigy was born and raised right here in Kanglan. Guan Shi, SS rank talent, absolute defense. Haraha, absolute defense, a perfect shield warrior. As long as he stands on the battlefield, he will be the sturdiest bulwark for any team. Principal Wu laughed heartily. Beside him, Principal Kong wore an expression as unpleasant as if he had swallowed an insect. When Su Qingxue awakened her SS rank talent, he could console himself that she belonged to the Su clan of the provincial capital, not a local resident of Kanglan. Now Guan Shi had awakened an SS rank talent, and immense pressure crashed down upon Principal Kong's shoulders like a mountain. Must Kanglan No. 2 High School be overshadowed by Kanglan No. 1 High School yet again this year? Congratulations, Senior Wu. Kanglan City has finally produced an SS rank talent. Your wish has come true. Su Muyang, seated nearby, turned to offer his congratulations. Haha, indeed. 300 years, 300 long years. Principal Wu clenched his fists, his eyes growing moist. Though Su Muyang voiced his congratulations openly, his mind raced, plotting ways to recruit this SS rank genius to Vermilion Bird Academy. The Su clan's territory lay within Sangzhou, and Vermilion Bird Academy was the most prestigious extraordinary academy in the region. Su Muyang himself had studied there. SSS rank prodigies stood even higher than SS rank talents. Yet barely a handful of SSS rank monsters appeared across the entire nation of Xia each year. SS rank talents counted among the country's most vital strategic assets, fiercely contested by every extraordinary academy. On the far side of the podium, Zhou Yun, homeroom teacher of class 3-2, burned with excitement. She squeezed her fists tightly. I'm going to become famous. A student from my class has awakened an SS rank genius. An SS rank talent. None had appeared in Kanglan City for 300 years. Now her own student, from her own class, had awakened such a rare gift. It was unparalleled honor. She could already envision how drastically her life would change because of this student. Even setting everything else aside, the rewards awarded as Guan Shi's homeroom teacher alone would be enough to secure her comfort for the rest of her life. SS rank. I actually awakened an SS rank talent. Fenggu, we're going places. Guan Shi raced back to the class and pulled Qin Feng into a tight bear hug. Hey, Lao Qi, let go. You're squeezing the air out of me. Qin Feng's face turned bright red as he struggled to breathe. Guan Shi paid no mind. Talent awakening formally marked entry into the ranks of awakened ones, drastically boosting physical strength. Seventh brother, release Fenggu quickly. He can barely breathe. Su Juzhou rushed forward and patted Guan Shi's arm when she saw Qin Feng's reddened face. Hearing Su Juzhou's voice, Guan Shi immediately let go, scratching his head awkwardly. Ah, sorry Fenggu, my bad. Cough, cough, cough. After a fit of coughing, Qin Feng waved a hand dismissively. It's fine, but you need to be careful from now on. You're an extraordinary being now, far stronger than ordinary humans. Learn to restrain your strength. Guan Shi suddenly realized his mistake and scratched his head again sheepishly. Hee, I got carried away in excitement and forgot. Seventh brother, you're hopeless. You weren't the sharpest tool to begin with, and now you're even more scatterbrained. Su Juzhou slapped her forehead, looking utterly exasperated. Every student in class 3-2 fixed their eyes on the trio, filled with envy. An SS rank talent was an achievement recognized nationwide. Qin Feng's group had always kept a low profile at school. They rarely sought friendships and seldom joined class activities. To put it plainly, they existed on the margins of school life. Few students from other classes even knew who they were. Now Guan Shi's SS rank awakening turned them into overnight celebrities. Over in class 3-1, Su Qingxue glanced briefly at Guan Shi before looking away, losing interest immediately. Li Hongwei, direct descendant of Kanglan City's Li clan, turned the matter over in his mind. Class 3-2 is mostly filled with commoners. If I can bring him into my faction, could this achievement make me the primary heir of the clan? Li Hongwei ranked third among his generation in the Li clan. Two elder cousins stood above him, and both possessed S-rank talents. As Li Hongwei pondered, the awakening ceremony on stage continued. Yang Yong, D-rank talent, architecture. Lin Hao, B-rank talent, necromancy summoning. Lu Tsuehua, C-rank talent, wound healer. Lu Yin, D-rank talent, weaver. Su Jiujiu, S-rank talent, amplification aura. After Guanxi's awakening, more than a dozen students awakened mediocre talents, until Su Jiujiu stepped forward and claimed another S-rank talent, a support-type ability. Amplification aura, judging by its name, granted area-wide buffs, making it an extremely powerful skill. Yes, I've awakened an S-rank talent too, and it's a support class. From now on, I can back up Feng Ge and Seventh Brother. Su Jiujiu rejoiced standing before the awakening steel. Down below, Qin Feng smiled with genuine happiness for Su Jiujiu. One S-rank and one SS rank already. I wonder what talent I'll awaken, Qin Feng thought quietly. Feng Ge, it's your turn. Su Jiujiu bounced over to Qin Feng. Qin Feng nodded. Good luck, Feng Ge. Su Jiujiu made an encouraging gesture toward him. Qin Feng smiled in response. He walked calmly toward the awakening steel. So this is the awakening steel. It was his first time viewing the monument up close. Dense runes were carved all across its surface. Upon careful observation, faint streams of mysterious power flowed within each symbol. He wondered if a person's awakened talent was connected to these strange runes. Woo! The moment Qin Feng's palm touched the steel, a mysterious force surged up from deep within his body. A warm sensation washed over him, as though he were soaking in a hot spring. The awakening steel began to glow faintly. The light shifted from white to green, then blue, purple, gold, red. The bizarre spectacle stunned every onlooker, including the school leaders seated on the podium. Wu De, Kong Yajun, and Su Muyang rubbed their eyes, then exchanged confused glances. What on earth is happening? Is the awakening steel cycling through colors? Even Su Muyang, who had witnessed countless extraordinary sights, was stunned, his mind going blank. He had never seen anything like this in his life. Hiss. I've presided over awakening ceremonies for decades and watched hundreds of thousands of students awaken talents. Never have I seen the monument shift through multiple colors mid-awakening. Principal Wu muttered in confusion. This young man's light cycles through every hue non-stop. Could he have awakened some unknown, peerless talent? Or an SSS rank? No, Su Muyang shook his head. When an SSS rank talent awakens, the pillar of light reaches 36 zhang high. But look at this. The awakening steel flickered with countless shifting colors, yet the pillar of light rising from it stood merely 1 zhang tall, the mark of an F-rank talent. An F-rank talent? How can this be? Principal Wu struggled to accept what he saw, yet he knew the height of the light pillar always corresponded to talent grade. Talent ranks followed fixed light pillar heights, F through A rank, with an A rank producing a 6 zhang pillar. S rank reached 9 zhang, SS rank 18 zhang, and SSS rank 36 zhang. Gradually, the shifting glow emanating from the steel faded away. Qin Feng, F-rank talent, Hawkeye. Reading the text displayed on the monument, Qin Feng's vision swam, and he nearly fainted. All that astonishing commotion, and he had thought something incredible was about to emerge. But it amounted to nothing more than an F-rank talent. Ha ha! Laughter erupted across the entire playground. I thought it was some incredible talent, but it's just grade F. I can't take it anymore. I'm dying of laughter, grade F. Wave after wave of jeers from the surrounding crowd drifted into Qin Feng's ears, worsening his already foul mood. TCH, I don't get to choose how powerful my talent is. Qin Feng turned and swept his gaze over the onlookers, his face devoid of any emotion. What's done was done. No amount of resentment would change anything. Grade F talent, Hawkeye. Hawkeye greatly enhances vision, allowing the user to see much farther. Talent, Transcendence blessing from Mother Earth. Transcendence. Consume crystal cores to raise the quality of any object. This talent possesses untraceable authority. Innate skill passive, Dark Reaper. Dark Reaper Super God tier. Upon slaying any target whose level is no lower than your own, randomly harvest 1 attribute point from the target. No upper limit. Qin Feng stared at his newly awakened status panel, a mix of 3 parts excitement and 7 parts confusion swirling in his mind. He was thrilled to have a cheat ability, and it seemed to be quite formidable, not just one, either. Yet confusion lingered. Why had he transmigrated to this world? He fixated on the talent Transcendence, marked as a blessing from Mother Earth. Could my transmigration be connected to the will of Earth? The more he pondered, the more bewildered he grew. Forget it. There's no use dwelling on unsolved questions. I'll leave all these mysteries to my future self to figure out. Having sorted out his thoughts, Qin Feng headed back to the classroom. At the sight of him, Su Juzhou and Guan Qi hurried over. Feng Ge, don't worry. I've got your back. I'll protect you, Guan Qi declared, thumping his chest earnestly. Feng Ge, Qi Ji's right. The three of us are family forever. We swore long ago to share every blessing and endure every hardship together. We'll never abandon you, Su Juzhou quickly added. Looking into the sincere concern in Guan Qi and Su Juzhou's eyes, Qin Feng's heart warmed. Truly, they were brothers who'd grown up side by side. Lao Qi, Xiaojiu, relax. I'm not as fragile as you think. There are no useless talents, only weak awakened. It's just a grade F talent. I'll still carve out my own path in this world. Seeing Qin Feng remained undaunted, Guan Qi and Su Juzhou both breathed a sigh of relief. Ha ha ha, grade F talent. And you think you'll make something of yourself? Hilarious. A mocking voice cut through the air not far away. Guan Qi and Su Juzhou turned to see Hou Xiaoshan chatting casually with Lu Cheng. The pair appeared to be getting along well, yet they glanced over intentionally, smirks of disdain on their faces. Hou-san, how dare you mock Feng Ge? Are you looking for a fight? Guan Qi's eyes turned icy, a fierce aura emanating from his body. When Guan Qi called him out, Hou Xiaoshan met his gaze. But locking eyes with Guan Qi's frigid stare sent a chill racing down his spine, every hair standing on end. Hou Xiaoshan was always one to stir up trouble and crave attention in their class. Today, he had awakened a grade C talent, far below his expectations, leaving him in a rotten mood. Watching Guan Qi awaken a grade SS talent ignited sharp jealousy within him. Hou Xiaoshan considered himself somebody in Class 2, Senior 3. But Qin Feng, Guan Qi, and Su Juzhou had never shown him any respect, and he'd long resented it. Now that Qin Feng had unlocked a grade F talent, he couldn't resist mocking him. He never anticipated that the grade SS genius Guan Qi would rush to defend Qin Feng, putting him in an awkward spot. Still desperate to save face, Hou Xiaoshan tried to drive a wedge between them. Guan Qi, you're grade SS, while Qin Feng is grade F. The moment your talents awakened, you two entered entirely different worlds. A grade F talent means he will never successfully advance his class and break through level 31. And you, before Hou Xiaoshan could finish speaking, Guan Qi roared. Hou-san, you're asking for trouble. He prepared to charge forward and beat Hou Xiaoshan, only to be held back by Qin Feng. Feng Ge, let me go. I have to teach this guy a lesson today, or I'll never calm down. Guan Qi twisted his head toward Qin Feng. Qin Feng patted his arm. Today is the talent awakening ceremony. Every important figure in Kanglan City is watching. There's no need to court unnecessary trouble over someone like Hou-san. So we're just letting this slide? Guan Qi seethed. People could insult him all they wanted, but not Qin Feng. Qin Feng wore a faint smile. Don't be hasty. You know my personality well. I never let insults slide unanswered. If a dog snaps at me, I won't bite it back. I'll knock it down for good. There will be plenty of chances later. Hearing this, the violent aura rolling off Guan Qi slowly faded. He shot Hou Xiaoshan a venomous glare and ignored him completely. From start to finish, Qin Feng never spared Hou Xiaoshan a direct glance, nor did he utter a single reply to his taunts. The small confrontation did not escape the notice of the other students standing nearby, who whispered among themselves. Do you think Hou-san has lost his mind? He likes to show off normally, but I didn't think he'd be this reckless. Exactly. Guan Qi has a grade SS talent. He's guaranteed entry into one of the 4 grand academies and destined for greatness. Qin Feng and Guan Qi are extremely close. By mocking Qin Feng in public, Hou-san is openly disrespecting Guan Qi. A sharp-witted student commented with schadenfreude. Well, some people bring misfortune upon themselves. No one else to blame. We'd better keep our distance from that fool Hou-san from now on. We don't want to get dragged into his mess. After awakening their powers, all students possessed enhanced physical senses, so every word of the discussion reached Hou Xiaoshan's ears. His face darkened instantly. He never imagined a casual taunt would land him on Guan Qi's bad side. As a grade SS genius, Guan Qi could easily deal with him if he chose to. Hou Xiaoshan failed to notice Lu Cheng slowly putting distance between them. Moments earlier, the two had chatted amicably. Now everything had changed. I can't just wait for disaster to strike. I need to find a powerful backer. Hou Xiaoshan thought frantically, scrambling for a way to protect himself. The Li family. If I swear allegiance to Li Hongwei, Guan Qi surely won't dare move against me. With that thought, Hou Xiaoshan left Class 2 Senior 3 and headed toward Class 1 Senior 3. This minor incident only drew attention from Class 2. Everyone else's eyes remained fixed on the awakening platform. Before long, Every student in Class 2 had completed their awakening. Head teacher Zhou Yun walked slowly over from the stage with a gentle smile. Her gaze lingered on Guanxi, satisfaction clear on her face. She then led the whole class back to their classroom. Once the students settled down, Zhou Yun stood at the podium and began to address them. Students, no one chooses the rank of their talent. A powerful talent merely grants you a superior starting point. As she spoke, Zhou Yun looked toward Guanxi and Su Jiujiu, then shifted her gaze to Qin Feng. Of course, students with weaker talents must not lose heart. With diligent effort, you can still get into your ideal academy. Sensing Zhou Yun's stare, Qin Feng felt exasperated. Was such obvious favoritism really necessary? Who was she looking down on? It was only a grade F talent. He possessed a Super God tier skill hidden away. He did not know where Super God tier ranked, but he was certain it stood far above grade SSS. In addition, the school will open the Novice Dungeon trial tomorrow. Everyone must enter and take part. This will be your first practical lesson as you step into the supernatural realm. Zhou Yun moved on to the main announcement. Furthermore, the Kanglan City authorities have prepared one basic piece of starter equipment for each of you, which will be distributed through the school. After class monitor Zhao Cici will lead everyone to the equipment storage to collect them. She paused and turned toward Zhao Cici. Understood, teacher. Zhao Cici nodded in acknowledgement. After finishing her announcements, Zhou Yun's gaze returned to Guanxi and Su Jiujiu. Guanxi, Su Jiujiu, come with me outside. At the head teacher's summons, Guanxi and Su Jiujiu exchanged a glance before turning toward Qin Feng. Fenggu, what do you think Zhou the devil wants with us? Guanxi asked in confusion. Qin Feng rolled his eyes at him. It's obvious. Good news. You too awaken top-tier talents, so the school will offer rewards. They might be equipment or skill manuals. I see. Guanxi nodded, growing excited. Go on. Qin Feng patted him on the shoulder. All right. Guanxi nodded again, and he and Su Jiujiu walked out of the classroom together. Zhou Yun waited for them outside. Teacher, did you call us for something? Even after Qin Feng's guess, Su Jiujiu still asked Zhou Yun. The school rewards students who awaken high-tier talents each year. To support their growth, Zhou Yun did not hide the truth. Kanglan City is merely a remote border city within the Xia Kingdom, yet our school never holds back resources. We will never withhold supplies from anyone with grade S talent or higher. Nowadays, humanity's territory grows increasingly precarious. Every talent of grade S and above is invaluable talent for our nation. The resources the school provides are meant to help you grow quickly and strive for admission to the 4 grand academies. Zhou Yun's words turned Guanxi and Su Jiujiu solemn. Teacher, is humanity's situation truly that dire? It is, Zhou Yun nodded. Kanglan City sits on Xia Kingdom's border. Countless exotic beasts, monsters and fiends roam the lands beyond the city walls. Every single day, people lose their lives fighting outside the city to resist these creatures. It has been nearly 20 years since the last beast tide invasion. I cannot predict when the next one will strike, but I know it will come soon. That is why I hope the 2 of you can enter the 4 grand academies. Only there can you grow at the fastest rate. If one day you master your abilities, I sincerely hope you will return to Kanglan City to lend your strength. I am not forcing you. I beg you from the bottom of my heart. Kanglan City is our home, and it is yours too. The pair fell silent, deeply moved by her speech. They had never imagined they might one day protect an entire city. In their minds, they were just orphans, destined for no such great destiny. Observing their reaction, Zhou Yun easily guessed what they were thinking. Do not overthink it. Your journey has only just begun. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. Shortly afterward, Zhou Yun led Guanxi and Su Jiujiu to the principal's office. Knock, 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 come in. A resonant voice boomed from within. Zhou Yun ushered the 2 students inside. Principal Wu set aside the documents he had been reading and looked up, breaking into a warm smile upon seeing Guanxi and Su Jiujiu. Teacher Zhou, these must be Guanxi and Su Jiujiu. Principal Wu pretended not to know them. That's right, Principal, Zhou Yun nodded. Haha, don't stand. Please, have a seat. Principal Wu gestured toward the leather sofa, then walked over to a safe. A moment later, he pulled 2 black books out of the storage unit. These are 2 grade C skill manuals. Armor Blessing and Holy Light Shield. Principal Wu sat down across from Guanxi with the manuals in hand. Grade C skill manuals. Guanxi and Su Jiujiu glanced at each other in shock. They never expected the school to grant them such precious gifts. Even the most basic grade F skill manual sold for at least 5,000 star coins at the Treasure Pavilion, and prices rose higher on the black market. A grade C skill manual could sell for hundreds of thousands of star coins. now two lay before them, and their names seemed perfectly suited to themselves. Principal, this is far too valuable. Guanxi hesitated to take them immediately. Indeed, Principal, we cannot accept such precious grade C skill manuals, Su Juju agreed. Having lived in poverty all their lives, they hesitated to accept such priceless items. Do not worry. No matter how precious a skill manual is, it serves no purpose gathering dust on a shelf. Principal Wu was pleased to see they had not lost themselves over rare treasures. Additionally, since Guanxi has awakened a grade SS talent, Kanglan No. 1 High School will provide its own rewards, and the Kanglan City government has prepared separate benefits for you. However, those rewards will only be distributed 1 month from now. The items are extremely valuable. To avoid unnecessary trouble, they will be given to you right before the National College entrance examination. But I can give you a small hint. That item will greatly boost your strength. There are more rewards? Guanxi felt lightheaded, stunned by all the perks that came with awakening a grade SS talent. Principal Wu chuckled, then handed the 2 grade C skill manuals to Guanxi and Su Juju. Take these manuals as support from the school. Do not feel burdened. If you achieve greatness in the future, simply aid the school within your power if trouble arises. Principal Wu clapped Guanxi on the shoulder. Unlike Li Hongwei, who came from a powerful clan that he would always prioritize above all else, Guanxi and Su Juju were locals born and raised in Kanglan. If they received support while they were vulnerable, they would repay the school far more generously than these 2 grade C skill manuals in years to come. Very well. Thank you, Principal. In the end, Guanxi and Su Juju accepted the manuals. The two were in urgent need of skill manuals at this stage. Every awakened unlocks 1 innate skill upon awakening, plus 1 extra skill slot to learn new abilities. Additional skill slots unlock automatically as your level rises. There are other ways to unlock skill slots besides leveling up. Special dungeons and powerful elite bosses can drop skill runes, which also unlock new skill slots. Skill runes are astronomically expensive, rarely seen on the open market. Whenever one appears, wealthy clans immediately buy them up at any cost. Seeing them accept the manuals, Principal Wu smiled with relief. That is the right attitude. Talented commoners struggle to compete with clan heirs, but a well-matched skill manual can narrow that gap. I have other work to attend to, so I will not keep you. Young people likely have little interest in listening to an old man ramble about the fate of humanity. Principal Wu turned to Zhou Yun. Teacher Zhou, escort them back to class. Understood, Principal. Zhou Yun stood and nodded, then led the 2 students out of the office. Once the 3 departed, Principal Wu returned to his desk and resumed reading his documents. Guanxi, Su Juju, Su Qingxue. Only 3 seed candidates. If we hope to make waves in the National College entrance examination a month from now, 3 people will not be enough. He picked up the file on Li Hongwei and studied it. Li Hongwei, the Li clan. Principal Wu furrowed his brows, tapping his fingers slowly against his desk. If necessary, assign 3 grade A talent damage dealers to join the seed team. Ever since supernatural power descended and the world adopted a data-based system, 6 combat professions had emerged. Underworld rules. A party could hold a maximum of 6 members. Over in Class 2, Senior Year 3. After Guanxi and Su Juju left with their homeroom teacher Zhou Yun, Qin Feng studied his status panel, mulling over which class he would pick in the future. Name: Qin Feng. Class: None pending selection. Level 1. Talent 1. Eagle Eye greatly enhances eyesight, allowing vision over far greater distances. Talent 2. Transcendence Blessing from Mother Earth. Consume crystal cores to raise the quality of any item. Undetectable. Innate passive skill super, God tier, Dark Reaper. Each time you slay a target no lower than your level, randomly siphon 1 attribute point from the victim. No upper limit. HP, 200. Mana, 200. Physical attack, 60. Magic attack, 60. Attack speed, 0.6. Physical defense, 60. Magic defense, 60. Strength, 10-1 strength equals 5 physical attack. Intelligence, 10-1 intelligence equals 5 magic attack. Agility, 10-1 agility equals 0.01 attack speed, raises evasion rate. Constitution, 10-1 constitution equals 10 HP and 5 physical defense. Spirit, 10-1 spirit equals 10 mana and 5 magic defense. Staring at the status panel, Qin Feng thought to himself, ignoring my innate attributes, my base HP and mana would only sit at 100 each. Base attack and defense would merely be 10 points, and base attack speed would only reach 0.5. Dark Reaper, a super, god tier skill, and it's a passive growth skill. Every target I kill that's equal or higher than my level will grant me a random stolen attribute point, with no cap. That means the more monsters I slay, the more attribute points I harvest. If all went according to this logic, Qin Feng would eventually become a true all-rounder with balanced stats across every field. 6 combat classes existed in this world: Shield Guardian, Assassin, Mage, Priest, Knight, and Archer. Qin Feng grabbed a pen and scribbled the 6 classes onto a sheet of paper. Lao Chi's talent is absolute defense. He's bound to go down the Shield Guardian or Warrior path. Warrior is a branch of Shield Guardian. As he spoke, he crossed out Shield Guardian on the paper. Xiaojio's talent is Support Amplification Aura, making Priest her top choice. He crossed out Priest next. Eliminating Shield Guardian and Priest, only 4 remain: Assassin, Mage, Knight, and Archer. If I aim for burst damage, Mage is the option. But spellbooks are ridiculously costly. I'm just a poor kid surviving on government subsidies. I can't even afford the basic Fireball spell. Mages deal decent damage early on, yet they drain mana rapidly. With only 200 mana, I'll run dry after casting a few spells. Am I supposed to rely on basic attacks? You need wealth to play a mage properly. Not an option. After careful deliberation, Qin Feng resolved to discard the mage route and turned his attention toward physical damage classes, such as Assassin and Archer. Assassins boast high burst damage, yet they have frail defenses. Without survival skills, a stray area of effect Fatal Strike means instant death. It will be tough to survive the vulnerable early phase. Assassins face another flaw: they lack wide area attacks. My Dark Reaper skill cannot reach its maximum potential with this class. As for the Knight class, Qin Feng barely spared it a glance. It was a hybrid class balancing support and damage output. This class had obvious shortcomings: low burst potential, few area attacks, and insufficient damage. Qin Feng needed a class that could carry him smoothly through the weak early stages, so he ruled out Knight outright. That leaves Archer. Qin Feng's gaze finally settled on the word Archer written on the paper, and he circled it with his pen. Archer, a physical damage class that can also learn elemental attack skills. It delivers solid damage from long range. My base attack speed of 0.51 means I strike roughly once every 2 seconds. As my agility rises, my attack speed will keep increasing. Most importantly, the Archer class perfectly synergizes with my Eagle Eye talent. All things considered, Archer is the best fit for me. Having settled on his class, Qin Feng refocused his mind on his second talent: Transcendence. Consume crystal cores to raise the quality of any object. The description was plain and straightforward. Any object's quality. Can it improve my Eagle Eye talent? Qin Feng pondered silently. Forget it. I don't have any crystal cores right now. Even if it works, I have no materials to use it on. What exactly were crystal cores? Qin Feng knew they were special materials that only dropped from elite, grade, or higher monsters. Crystal cores came in different attributes. Crystal cores of matching attributes could be handed to forgers to craft weapons and equipment suited to the wielder. On top of that, crystal cores could be used to inscribe special runes, such as those for teleportation arrays and defensive formations. In short, crystal cores were an all-purpose currency in this world. Of course, monster grade and rank determined the type of crystal core dropped. Even the lowest grade crystal cores sold for thousands of star coins at the Myriad Treasures Pavilion. Monster ranks: Common, Elite, Lord, Monarch, Emperor, Legendary, Mythic. Equipment tiers: White Common, Green Rare, Blue Excellent, Purple Epic, Gold Legendary, Red Mythic. Higher tier equipment carried more attribute affixes. Each tier upgrade added 1 extra affix. Mythic tier equipment could hold 6 affixes. Beyond these 6 tiers of equipment existed an even more powerful category known as exclusive gear. Exclusive gear was perfectly attuned to its wielder. Every affix seemed tailor-made for the owner. This equipment bound to the soul and possessed growth potential. Once equipped, it could not be traded or dropped. Even if the wielder was killed, exclusive gear would not fall. It would vanish alongside its owner. He had just finished mapping out all his plans when Zhou Yun returned to the classroom with Guanxi and Su Jiujiu. Back at his seat, Guanxi could not wait to share the rewards he'd received from the principal with Qin Feng. Feng Ge, just as you predicted. The principal is incredibly generous. Xiaojio and I each got a C-tier skillbook. Right, Feng Ge? This skillbook fits our talents perfectly. Su Jiujiu turned toward Qin Feng with a bright smile. Guanxi sat beside Qin Feng, while Su Jiujiu sat in front of him. That's excellent. With a C-tier skill, tomorrow's trial dungeon will be far easier for us. Qin Feng nodded. Haha, exactly. Tomorrow in the dungeon, we'll wreak havoc on all the monsters. Guan Shi clenched his fists, itching to step into the beginner dungeon and fight monsters right away. Ding ling ling. The bell rang to signal the end of class. Class monitor Zhao Cici led the whole class to the school storage vault to collect equipment. Amid the crowd, Guan Shi asked Qin Feng. Feng Ge, which class did you pick? Archer. Qin Feng replied plainly. Guan Shi's eyes lit up the moment he heard that. He clapped his hands excitedly. Archer. Great choice. Long, range attacks with solid damage. When we fight monsters later, I'll tank all damage up front, Xiao Jiu buffs us, and you unleash non-stop fire from the backline. Perfect team composition. MHM. Su Jujiu grabbed Qin Feng's sleeve and nodded vigorously. Every awakener unlocked one basic skill upon awakening. Most people chose their class based on this skill, as wasting it would be a massive loss. Naturally, privileged scions from powerful clans chose classes based on their talents instead. They never lacked skill runestones, so wasting one basic skill did not trouble them. For example, someone might awaken an S-tier fire attribute talent, yet receive a melee physical basic skill. Ordinary commoners would pick a shield guardian branch to become a flame elemental warrior. But noble prodigies would make a different choice. An S-tier fire talent was made for a flame mage, so they would select the higher damage mage class. The mage served as the core damage dealer of any team. Guan Shi's basic skill was taunt, leaving no doubt he would take the shield guardian path. Su Jojo's basic skill was heal. Combined with the C-tier skill Holy Shield, she was undoubtedly suited for the priest class. Soon, guided by Zhao Cici, all students of Class 2, Senior Year 3 arrived at the school's equipment vault. After filling out personal information forms, each student received their own piece of equipment. Though merely starter gear, these items marked a pivotal step into the supernatural world for Qin Feng, Guan Shi, and Su Jujiu. They were the first combat equipment of their lives, the starting point of their journey, and carried immense significance. Equipped gear would grant a sizable boost to their stats. Starter equipment referred to a set of level 1 white common gear. While common grade, every piece possessed one affix. These affixes were nothing extraordinary, mostly granting extra attack, defense, or HP. Qin Feng looked down at the bow in his hands. Weapon, iron arm bow. Type, bow. Physical attack, 10. Brawn, attack plus 10. A level 1 common weapon with 10 base attack and another plus 10 attack from its affix. This is a small treasure. Qin Feng was satisfied with the iron arm bow stats. Attack was what he needed most. With this bow equipped, his total attack reached 80 points. 80 attack. Not bad. Qin Feng slung the iron arm bow over his back. Feng Ge, check out my armor. Guan Shi and Su Jujiu walked over to Qin Feng's side. Armor. Chainmail. Metal armor for shield guardian. Physical defense, 10. Fortify. Physical defense plus 10. Guan Shi displayed the chainmail's attributes for Qin Feng to see. Both grant plus 10 base stat. Does every piece of common equipment have a base stat of 10? Qin Feng wondered. He then turned to Su Jujiu. Seeing this, Su Jujiu quickly showed him the staff in her hands. Weapon, Vine Staff. Type, Staff. Magic attack, 10. Serenity, Spirit plus 3. This staff's affix adds attribute points directly. Qin Feng stared at the Serenity affix. Yep, Feng Ge. 3 extra spirit gives me 30 more mana, so I can cast more skills. Su Jujiu was pleased with her Vine Staff. Su Jojo's basic skill was Heal. It consumed 10 mana to restore 60 plus 30% spirit HP to an ally. Paired with her support amplification aura talent, her healing effects would grow even stronger. After collecting their equipment, Zhou Yun briefly reminded everyone of important precautions before dismissing the students. Qin Feng, Guan Shi, and Su Jujiu returned to the rental house outside school. They sat around the dining table and held a small meeting. First, 2 major points. Qin Feng took out paper and a pen, writing down the difficulties they currently faced. 1. Starting today, we can no longer receive national subsidies or school financial aid for impoverished students. From this moment onward, we must fend for ourselves and forge our own path. Of course, this hurdle won't stop us. He paused, glancing at Guan Shi and Su Jujiu, then continued speaking. 2. The Awakening College Entrance Exam. Qin Feng wrote these words on the paper and underlined them heavily. There are 4 transcendent academies across Xia Kingdom, brimming with endless resources. Rumor says each academy controls numerous dungeons. Only by gaining admission can we grow rapidly. Getting into any of these 4 academies is no easy task. Hundreds of thousands of students awaken every year across Xia Kingdom. That means the three of us will compete against all of them. We will need to push ourselves to the absolute limit over the next month. This is no empty talk. Qin Feng's expression turned deadly serious. Feng Ge, what's your plan? Guan Qi asked. Su Juzhou nodded beside him. Kanglan City is only a small city, but it hosts several dungeons. Challenge dungeons are our main target. We will likely spend most of the next month there. Qin Feng laid out his plan. Challenge dungeons. I've heard they are extremely difficult. Can we clear them? Guan Qi felt a flicker of uncertainty. Every city possessed several challenge dungeons, reserved for elite prodigies. All challenge dungeons were connected nationwide, with global leaderboards recording challenger results. Clearing one earned generous rewards. Breaking a record brought even greater riches. Rest assured, I won't take reckless risks without a solid chance of success. Qin Feng gave Guan Qi a reassuring look. Very well. I trust your judgment, Feng Ge. Guan Qi agreed. Su Juzhou refused to fall behind and raised her hand quickly. Count me in. We're family. Wherever you two go, I go. By the way, Feng Ge, what talent did you awaken? Why did the awakening stone glow with countless colors during your awakening? Guan Qi finally voiced the doubt lingering in his heart. He never believed Qin Feng had merely awakened an F-tier talent. Hehe, you'll find out someday. Qin Feng smiled mysteriously. Seeing that smile, Guan Qi's eyes lit up. He knew that expression all too well. I knew it. Your talent is far from ordinary, Feng Ge. Enough of this topic for now. Before we grow strong, we must never test humanity's greed and cruelty. Qin Feng warned Guan Qi. I understand. Guan Qi nodded solemnly. As an orphan, Guan Qi had witnessed far too much darkness. In this world, kindness and selfless concern were rarely genuine. If powerful figures spotted someone with great potential, they would seize every advantage and drain them dry. That was why the three of them had lived in obscurity for years, doing their best to avoid drawing the attention of the nobility. The next day, Qin Feng and the other two arrived at school together. Today marked the opening of the school's beginner trial dungeon. A crowd of students had gathered around the trial dungeon grounds. Everyone hoped to stand out and shock others in the upcoming trial. Shortly after, Principal Wu walked over accompanied by a group of school leaders. Beside him stood a middle-aged man in a tailored suit chatting casually. This was Ling Xiaotian, mayor of Kanglan City, and the strongest person in the city, a third-rank vessel transcendent. He had received news the previous day that Kanglan No. 1 High School had birthed an SS-tier prodigy, filling him with joy. He originally planned to visit Kanglan No. 1 High School yesterday to meet this SS-tier talent, but urgent matters delayed him. Thus, he arrived at the school early this morning to meet Principal Wu. Apart from meeting this local SS-tier prodigy, Ling Xiaotian also intended to observe the beginner trial and see what results the young talent could achieve. Students, each of you has 5 chances to enter the beginner trial dungeon. Your best run among the 5 will count as your official score. Principal Wu explained the rules of the trial dungeon. Additionally, your final score accounts for the level you gain inside the trial. Higher levels yield more bonus points, which will count toward your Awakening College entrance exam. Principal Wu finished his brief announcement and ordered staff to activate the trial dungeon. Dozens of glowing blue crystal cores slotted into grooves around the portal, and the trial dungeon instantly activated. A slowly swirling purple vortex within the portal served as the dungeon entrance. All students fixed their eyes on the purple vortex, yet Qin Feng's gaze locked onto the dozens of shimmering blue crystal cores. Blue-grade crystal cores, excellent tier. Excellent tier crystal cores only dropped from Lord, grade, or higher boss monsters. To think activating a beginner trial dungeon consumes dozens of excellent tier crystal cores. Converted to star coins, that must be worth millions, even tens of millions. Qin Feng sighed inwardly, once again witnessing the massive resource cost of being a transcendent. It proved an old saying, scholarly pursuits are cheap, but cultivating power costs a fortune. Feng Ge, let's form a party first before entering the dungeon. Guan Qi sent Qin Feng a party invitation. Guan Qi has sent you a party invitation. Accept? Seeing the system prompt floating before him, Qin Feng accepted without hesitation. Moments later, Su Juzhou joined the party as well. The trio's party was officially formed. Ever since global datization and humanity's awakening of talents, everyone possessed a personal status panel. These panels offered great convenience. Users could view detailed stats, add friends, make video calls, browse item prices online, and complete purchases remotely. Once their party was set up, they prepared to step through the dungeon portal. Just then, commotion erupted from the crowd behind them. Look, that's Li Hongwei from Class 1 Senior Year 3, the one who awakened the S Tier Lightning talent. His equipment glows faint blue. It must be excellent tier gear. Of course. Only Peerless. Tier equipment emits blue light. Whoa, a full set of level 1 Peerless gear. Even if Li Hongwei's family is wealthy, there's no need to splurge like this. TSK, comparing people is so disheartening. We're all still stuck with ordinary white, great equipment, and he's already wearing Peerless gear. No wonder he comes from a prominent clan in Kanglan City. Listening to the chatter from his classmates, Li Hongwei felt a great surge of satisfaction. He held his head high and strode toward the dungeon portal. When he spotted Guanxi and Su Jiujiu preparing to enter the dungeon, his eyes lit up at once. Classmate Guan, classmate Su, want to join my party? If you come with me, I guarantee we'll secure first place. Hearing Li Hongwei's invitation, Guanxi refused without hesitation. There was no way he could accept. He planned to clear the dungeon alongside Feng Go. No thanks, we already have a party. Guanxi turned him down directly. That's right, we've got our team sorted out, Su Jiujiu added. What a shame to hear that. Li Hongwei did not grow upset at their refusal. He simply glanced at Qin Feng and said nothing more. After returning home the previous day, Li Hongwei had ordered people to investigate Guanxi's background. To his surprise, Guanxi turned out to be an orphan. What stunned him even more was discovering Su Jiujiu was also an orphan. This discovery made Li Hongwei's mind race with new plans. Orphans were easier to win over. With generous resources at his disposal, he was confident he could sway them. Yet when he saw Qin Feng's profile, his brows furrowed. All three grew up in the same orphanage. One with an SS rank talent, another with an S rank talent, and the third with a mere F rank. What on earth was this guy? Was some odd variable mixed into the group? Staring at Qin Feng's information, Li Hongwei quickly formulated a scheme. If he wanted to recruit these two outstanding talents, Qin Feng might well be his entry point. Who said rich heirs lacked brains? Li Hongwei was plenty sharp. Seeing Li Hongwei make no further attempts to persuade them, Guanxi led Su Jiujiu straight through the dungeon portal, with Qin Feng following closely behind. Upon entering the dungeon, they saw a crimson crystal roughly 1 zhang tall. A straight road stretched far into the distance directly in front of the crystal. The scene felt strangely familiar, and a peculiar look crossed Qin Feng's face. Isn't this just like the Aram game mode from League of Legends? Or a crystal defense map? If the crystal shatters, we fail the instance. Just as Qin Feng pondered, a cold mechanical voice suddenly echoed. Please select dungeon difficulty. Easy, hard, nightmare, purgatory, interesting. We can pick different difficulties for this beginner dungeon. Qin Feng stared at the 4 options floating before him. Feng Go, why don't we play it safe and pick easy to get some practice in first? Guanxi suggested. What do you think, Jiujiu? Instead of answering Guanxi immediately, Qin Feng turned towards Su Jiujiu. I'll follow whatever you decide, Feng Go. Su Jiujiu gripped her vine staff. All right, let's start with easy to warm up. Qin Feng agreed with Guanxi's idea. After all, he needed to slay monsters to earn attribute points with his talent. Monsters on easy difficulty would undoubtedly be weak, the perfect hunting ground for him. Once he stacked enough attribute points, he could challenge higher difficulties later. Having made up his mind, Qin Feng selected easy mode. Initiate dungeon now? Yes, no, yes. Qin Feng confirmed decisively. Roar. Charge forward and crush them. The moment Qin Feng activated the dungeon, beastly roars rolled in from the far end of the path. Qin Feng immediately activated Eagle Vision. Upon focusing his gaze, he saw roughly 10 minotaurs marching toward them in formation. Monster, regular minotaur, level 1, HP, 500, attack, 50, defense, 10 description. I will trample any foe who stands in my path. I swear to smash that crimson crystal to pieces. Reading the Minotaur's description, Qin Feng was hit by a wave of over-the-top melodrama. Dungeon clear condition. Defend the crystal from monster destruction. Dungeon failure. Crystal destroyed. It really is crystal defense. Qin Feng thought to himself as he drew his iron arm bow. Old Qi, get ready for battle. Got it. As soon as the words left his mouth, golden light wrapped around Guanxi. It was his C rank skill, Armor Blessing. Armor Blessing LV.1. Consumes 20 mana. Grants plus 50 defense and plus 20 elemental resistance. Reduces incoming damage by 20 per hit. Lasts 180 seconds. Cooldown, 240 seconds. Jiujiu, cast a shield on Old Qi and keep an eye on his HP at all times. Qin Feng quickly instructed Su Jiujiu. Understood. Su Jiujiu nodded, activating her talent before immediately unleashing her C rank skill, Holy Light Shield. Holy Light Shield LV.1. Consumes 10 mana. Creates a shield on an ally absorbing 100 plus 80% intelligence damage. Lasts 40 seconds. Cooldown, 60 seconds. Su Jojo's talent was Support Aura Amplification. Once activated, all support skills cast within the aura's range received a 100% effectiveness boost. Even without her talent active, Quan Chi's base defense reached 80, high enough that these minotaurs could not break through it. Still, adding the shield was a prudent safety measure. Quan Chi suddenly felt a barrier wrap around him. He checked its strength and gasped. The shield's durability was nearly equal to his total HP. Jujio, your talent is incredible. Naturally. I'm destined to become a great healer someday. Su Jojo said proudly. 1-1-1. Strings of damage numbers floated above Quan Chi's head. The Minotaurs could not overcome his defense, and only dealt a fixed minimum of 1 damage per strike. Whoosh. 70 Qin Feng's attack power stood at 80. Subtracting the Minotaur's 10 defense, a regular arrow dealt 70 damage. 50-50 while Qin Feng attacked, Quan Chi and Su Jojo joined in. Every awakened player started with 10 base attributes, granting them 60 base attack power each. With Su Jojo and Quan Chi dealing supplementary damage, the first Minotaur's HP fell to critical levels in less than 10 seconds. Whoosh. 70 Qin Feng loosed another regular shot and delivered the finishing blow to the first Minotaur. Experience plus 5 system notice. Dark Reaper triggered. Gain 1 strength. I already earned 1 point of strength. Qin Feng checked his status panel. His strength had risen from 10 to 11, and his attack power climbed by 5 points to 85. Wow, this ability is absolutely overpowered. The boost to his damage filled Qin Feng with motivation as he targeted the second Minotaur. Whoosh. 75 weight, 75 damage. Quan Chi stared at the floating damage value in confusion. That's strange. Feng Go only dealt 70 damage a moment ago. Why did it jump by 5? It must have something to do with his talent. I knew Feng Ge's talent was extraordinary. This sudden spike in damage stunned Su Jojo as well, yet she said nothing and kept the observation to herself. Neither of them was foolish. They both suspected the change stemmed from Qin Feng's talent, so they refrained from asking questions and continued attacking to help whittle down monster health. 75 Qin Feng secured another kill. Experience plus 5 system notice. Dark Reaper triggered. Gain 1 strength. Another point of strength. Qin Feng's strength reached 12, raising his attack power to 90. Qin Feng cared little for experience points. Once his damage grew large enough, leveling would become trivial. 80 Another damage value popped up above a Minotaur's head. Quan Chi's guess was proven correct. Feng Ge's talent must be directly linked to defeating monsters. Gaining 5 attack power per kill, that's ridiculous. With Quan Chi and Su Jojo assisting, Qin Feng claimed the final blow on every Minotaur in the first wave. Perhaps due to the type of monster, these 10 Minotaurs granted Qin Feng 10 strength points, raising his attack power by a total of 50. Qin Feng's attack power now hit 120. He also gained 50 experience points. Level 1 requires 1,000 experience to advance to level 2. That meant they needed to slay 200 Minotaurs to level up once. Feng Gu, your talent is terrifying. Your regular attack breaks 100 damage already, and we're still level 1. Quan Chi looked at Qin Feng, filled with envy. Haha, stay calm, stay calm. Qin Feng waved his hand, striking a nonchalant pose. I can't stay calm. I've decided I'm sticking to your side for good. As he spoke, Quan Chi pretended he planned to cling to Qin Feng. Su Jojo covered her mouth and laughed at Quan Chi's antics. 7th brother, you have no sense of dignity. Dignity? What good is dignity? Can it feed me? Can it help me grow stronger quickly? Quan Chi dismissed the idea entirely. I guess that makes sense. Su Jojo tilted her head and thought it over. Then I want to stick close to Feng Gu too. Seeing Su Jojo getting roped into Quan Chi's playful banter, Qin Feng kicked Quan Chi lightly on the rear. Focus on holding aggro. The second wave is coming. The instant he finished speaking, more beastly roars echoed. Roar. Battle. I crave battle. Rumble. A far more imposing force advanced toward the trio. The monsters were the same Minotaurs, but their numbers had doubled to 20. Jujio, refresh the shield on Old Chi. The monsters can't break his defense, but the fixed chip damage will wear him down over each wave. Roughly 20 HP lost each cycle. Qin Feng quickly told Su Jojo. Got it. Su Jojo cast Holy Light Shield on Quan Chi once more. Standing at the front, Quan Chi repeatedly used taunt to lock the hatred of all 20 Minotaurs, preventing them from targeting the 2 in the backline. Whoosh. 110 damage value floated above one Minotaur's head. With an attack speed of 0.6 attacks per second, Qin Feng fired roughly one arrow every 2 seconds. Combined with Su Jiujiu and Guan Qi's regular strikes, they could defeat a Minotaur in about 5 seconds. In the end, the three cleared all 20 Minotaurs in roughly 2 minutes. Naturally, Qin Feng landed every killing blow. His strength stat climbed to 40. Physical attack, 220. Name, Qin Feng. Class, Archer. Level, 1150/1000. Talent 1. Eagle Vision F. Rank, Talent 2. Transcendence Blessing from Earth. Consume crystal cores to raise the quality of any item. Properties undetectable. Innate passive skill super, God tier, Dark Reaper equipment. Iron Arm Bow, HP, 200. Mana, 200. Physical attack, 220. Magic attack, 60. Attack speed, 0.6. Physical defense, 60. Magic defense, 60. Strength, 40. Intelligence, 10. Agility, 10. Constitution, 10. Spirit, 10. Staring at the 40 points of strength on his status panel, Qin Feng sank into thought. Does Dark Reaper absorb attributes corresponding to the inherent stats of slain monsters? I'll need to defeat far more monsters to confirm this pattern. If his hypothesis proved correct, his future path would become far simpler. Whenever he lacked a specific attribute, he could hunt monsters that granted that stat, rather than mindlessly grinding everywhere. A person's true strength did not rely solely on overwhelming burst damage or powerful skills, but on eliminating weaknesses. Before Qin Feng could continue his contemplation, the third wave of monsters arrived. They were still Minotaurs, but their count rose once more, to 30. It appeared each wave spawned 10 extra monsters. He wondered how many waves awaited them in total. Roar. Trample them all. Always the same roar. Can't they come up with new lines? Guan Qi shouted and activated Taunt, instantly drawing the hatred of every Minotaur. Holy Light Shield. Without needing Qin Feng's reminder, Su Jiujiu voluntarily shielded Guan Qi. After 2 hard-fought battles, Su Jiujiu grew steadily more adept at her role. Qin Feng nodded inwardly as he watched her. Battle synergy could not be forged overnight. Whoosh. 210, an exaggerated damage number floated above a Minotaur. Now the trio only required roughly 3 seconds to kill a single Minotaur. Armed with experience from prior fights, clearing monsters grew far easier. As long as Guan Qi maintained aggro at the front, Qin Feng could unleash continuous damage from the rear. 210, experience +5, system notice, Dark Reaper triggered. Gain 1 strength. Another strength point earned, satisfying Qin Feng greatly. Minutes later, all 30 Minotaurs fell to Qin Feng's arrows. His strength had now surged to an astonishing 70 points. Including the 20 attack power from his weapon, his total attack reached 370. 370 attack power. What other class could deal 370 damage per regular attack, while still level 1? Qin Feng only needed 2 arrows to slay 1 Minotaur now. Soon, the 4th wave arrived. Just as Qin Feng predicted, 40 Minotaurs spawned this time. Even with more monsters, the threat to their party remained minimal. After eliminating the 4th wave, he gained another 40 strength points, pushing his total strength to 110. This is only the 4th wave, and I've collected over 100 strength points. A super, God-tier skill truly lives up to its reputation. I've hit the jackpot in this beginner dungeon. Qin Feng struggled to contain his excitement. At his current power, 1 regular arrow was enough to instantly slay a regular Minotaur. Boom, boom, boom. The ground began to shake violently, as if something massive was stomping across the terrain. A thunderous roar followed. Tiny insects, insignificant wretches, trembled beneath my warhammer. A golden, furred Minotaur emerged, carrying a giant hammer behind the remaining regular Minotaurs. Monster, Golden Minotaur Lord Tier, Level 5, HP 50,000, Attack 200, Defense 100. Skill, Heavy Hammer Strike. Charge up a hammer blow, dealing 300 damage to all targets within 5 meters and stunning them for 3 seconds. Roar. The Golden Minotaur bellowed, urging the regular Minotaurs to charge toward the trio. A boss. The boss has appeared. Guan Qi was not intimidated by the scene. Instead, his eyes lit up with excitement. To Guan Qi, boss monsters meant valuable loot and crafting materials. Reading the Golden Minotaur's stats, Qin Feng let out a quiet whistle. A level 5 Lord tier monster. 50,000 HP, 200 attack, 100 defense. And this is still easy difficulty. Without a sturdy tank, no ordinary party could withstand its strikes. Qin Feng quickly calculated his damage output. With my current attack of 570, each regular arrow deals 470 damage to it after subtracting defense. I need roughly 136 successful hits to defeat it. If Old Chi and Jojo join in. No, their attacks cannot pierce its defense. If I first eliminate these 50 regular Minotaurs, I will gain an extra 250 attack power. That would push my total attack to an incredible 820. I would only need 81 successful hits to bring down the boss. After finishing his calculations, Qin Feng turned to Guan Chi and issued orders. Old Chi, keep aggro locked on these regular Minotaurs. Leave everything else to me. Jojo, monitor Old Chi's status closely. Recast the shield the moment it expires. Understood. The two instantly slipped into combat readiness. Come at me, you little bulls. Guan Chi punched the nearest Minotaur while activating taunt. Whoosh. Qin Feng knocked and loosed his arrow. Minus 560. One regular shot instantly killed a Minotaur, granting 5 experience and 1 strength point. Whoosh. Minus 565 minus 570 minus 575. Every arrow Qin Feng fired brought down a Minotaur, rewarding him with 5 experience and 1 strength point. His attack power climbed higher and higher with each kill. When the final regular Minotaur collapsed, Qin Feng's attack power reached the predicted 820, and his strength stat hit 160. Whoosh. Minus 620. A staggering damage value floated above the golden Minotaur. Even though Qin Feng had expected this result, he was still stunned by the sight. Guan Chi and Su Jojo froze where they stood, equally shocked. Brother, are you using some kind of cheat? You'd better turn it off before you get banned. Guan Chi joked. Feng Gu, are you really using cheats? Su Jojo looked toward Qin Feng and asked. Stay calm. This is nothing. Qin Feng replied to the two as he kept attacking. Whoosh. 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 Minus 620 minus 620 minus 620. Before long, the golden Minotaur's health dropped to only 10,000. Roar. Taste my hammer. The golden Minotaur lifted its giant hammer high above its head, the hammerhead blazing with dazzling golden radiance. Old Chi dodged the skill. Qin Feng warned instantly. No, I want to test my talent. Guan Chi shook his head in refusal. He wanted to find out exactly how powerful his talent was, whether it could withstand a direct blow from the Minotaur. Up until now, Guan Chi had never activated his talent. Absolute defense, activate. As the words fell, a tawny aura surged all over Guan Chi's body. Absolute defense, an SS rank talent, possessed 2 effects. Armor blessing, activate. Immediately afterward, another golden light shimmered on Guan Chi. His defense shot up once more. Guan Chi's base defense stood at 60 points. Adding the 20 defense from his chainmail, the total reached 80. Activating Armor Blessing granted an extra 50 points, bringing it to 130. Stacked with his talent, that became 130 plus 130 times 2, is equal to 390 defense points. At level 1, a full 390 defense, who could break through that? On top of that, his talent provided a 30% damage reduction, alongside the additional 20% damage reduction from Armor Blessing. It was safe to say the Minotaur's attack could never pierce Guan Chi's defenses. Boom. A single damage value floated above Guan Chi's head, -1. Just as expected, the golden Minotaur's charged strike failed to break through his defense. However, a stun icon appeared above his head. Though he blocked the damage, he could not resist the crowd control effect. Still, it posed little threat. The stun wore off automatically after 3 seconds. While Guan Chi endured the blow, Qin Feng never halted his attacks. -620 -620. When the 81st effective arrow struck the boss, its health was finally depleted. I refuse to fall like this. The great Minotaurs shall return. After an intense, thrilling battle, the golden Minotaur collapsed amid a roar of unwillingness. Slain Lord Tier, Golden Minotaur. Earned 500 experience points. System notification, Dark Harvester triggered. Gain 1 point of strength. Congratulations. Level up. Current level, LV2. The moment the golden Minotaur fell, streaks of golden light enveloped Qin Feng, Guan Chi, and Su Jojo. They had leveled up, advancing from level 1 to level 2. At the same time, the system announcement echoed out. Congratulations to Guan Chi's squad for clearing easy mode. Total time, 15 minutes and 20 seconds. We cleared it. We actually cleared it. Guan Chi jumped up in excitement. And we leveled up too. Su Jojo was equally elated. Clatter. As the golden Minotaur's figure faded away, piles of materials spilled onto the ground. Among them, a striking blue glow stood out prominently. We got a drop. Qin Feng hurried forward and picked up the glowing blue material. Item, Epic Grade Core. It's really a core. I never imagined we'd get an Epic Grade Core on our first dungeon run. Joy welled up inside Qin Feng. With this core, he could test his other talent, Transcendence. Feng Ge, there's a skill book over here. It looks suited for you, though it's only F rank. Su Jojo picked up a book from the ground, a hint of regret on her face, and held it out to Qin Feng. What Su Jojo did not know was that this was a passive skill book. Passive skills were far more valuable than ordinary skill books. Qin Feng took the book Su Jojo handed him and examined it. It was indeed a skill exclusive to archers. Skill name, Multi-Shot F rank. Multi-Shot, passive skill. Each attack launches one additional arrow. This. Staring at the skill description, Qin Feng's eyes widened, and his breathing quickened. Feng Ge, what's wrong? Su Jojo asked anxiously upon seeing his reaction. Haha, I'm fine. This skill book was practically tailor-made for me. Qin Feng laughed loudly. I suppose you two have already guessed something about my talent. You're right. My talent can grow stronger over time. This skill adds an extra attack. That means once I learn it, my damage output will double. Really? That's amazing. Su Jojo broke into a bright smile. Qin Feng reached out and gently ruffled Su Jojo's hair. In truth, Qin Feng could not hide the Dark Harvester talent, nor did he intend to. As long as he continued slaying monsters, his attack power would keep rising. Besides, he had no wish to keep secrets from Guan Qi and Su Jojo. They were the closest people he had in this world. Qin Feng never doubted that Guan Qi and Su Jojo would betray him. If even these two turned against him, Qin Feng wondered who in this world he could trust. Furthermore, he held his greatest trump card, his second talent. That was his true source of confidence. Shortly afterward, Guan Qi gathered all the materials dropped by the boss. Feng Ge, the boss dropped a pair of Lord-tier Minotaur horns. We could sell these for a decent price. Guan Qi held the horns out toward Qin Feng. Qin Feng declined to take them. You can hold on to the horns for now. By the way, this core is useful to me. I need to experiment with it. Guan Qi waved his hand casually. Don't worry about it. These materials are worthless to us except for selling. From now on, keep anything useful to you whenever we loot materials. No need to ask us. Jojo and I just plan to stick close to you. I'm sure you won't leave us behind, right? Guan Qi looked at Qin Feng expectantly. Don't talk nonsense. We're family. How could I ever abandon you? You never looked down on me even when I only had an F-rank talent. So why would I treat you poorly? Qin Feng clapped Guan Qi on the shoulder. Feng Ge, don't forget me too. Su Jojo quickly raised her hand. Right, and Jojo. The three of us are a tight-knit family. Qin Feng smiled at Su Jojo. All right, the monsters are dealt with. We should head out and run the dungeon a second time. Let's go. Today we'll fight until we drop. Guan Qi agreed immediately. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Li Hongwei and his team were trapped in a brutal fight. Tanks, hold the line. Don't let the monsters get past you. Healer, cast your heals now. Li Hongwei shouted as he chugged health and mana potions, unleashing a Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning was a classic early skill for lightning mages. It consumed little mana, dealt solid area damage, yet suffered a long cooldown. It had to be said that an S-rank lightning mage packed formidable firepower. Each of Li Hongwei's attacks stripped nearly 200 health from the Minotaurs. Naturally, part of that damage came from his epic great equipment. Even so, it was incredibly impressive. Brotherly, I can't keep holding on. There are too many monsters, and potions can't restore my health fast enough. The frontline shield warrior called out to Li Hongwei. Fight while retreating. Protect the crystal at all costs. Don't let it shatter. Li Hongwei issued his command at once. Understood. With Li Hongwei's approval, the shield warriors slowly backed away. But there were far too many monsters. They could not clear them fast enough. The six-person team dealt roughly 50 damage to each Minotaur with basic attacks. On top of that, mage skills had cooldowns and drained mana rapidly. Li Hongwei's team survived this long solely by chugging endless potions. Before long, Li Hongwei's group retreated all the way to the crystal. There was nowhere left to fall back. Yet, behind the horde of Minotaurs loomed an even stronger Lord-tier boss. Staring at its 50,000 health, 200 attack, and 100 defense, a wave of helplessness washed over him. Damn it. This is supposed to be the beginner easy mode dungeon. How is anyone supposed to clear this? Oh well, we'll slay as many as we can. We still have 4 more attempts left. Once I hit level 2, my skills will grow stronger. Li Hongwei tried to comfort himself. At the same time, his thoughts drifted to Guan Qi and his SS rank absolute defense. If Guan Qi were on his team, they would never be stuck in such a desperate situation. The more he thought about it, the more determined Li Hongwei became to recruit Guan Qi as soon as possible. A similar predicament faced the young lady of the Su clan. She possessed an SS rank ice talent. Unlike Li Hongwei, Su Qingxue was tackling the dungeon alone. No good. There are too many monsters to eliminate, and my mana won't hold out. Su Qingxue frowned deeply. Ice Shine's maximum effective range, including the explosion, was only 12.5 meters. Monsters outside that radius could not be struck at all. Even if Su Qingxue fought at point-blank range, her skill range was insufficient. She had to clear the frontline monsters first before advancing onward. This forced her to fight and retreat, just like Li Hongwei. Even if Su Qingxue wiped out all the minor monsters, she stood no chance of defeating the Lord-tier Golden Minotaur. Outside the dungeon, Principal Wu chatted casually with Ling Xiaotian. Lao Wu, do you think any student from this year will clear the beginner dungeon? Principal Wu took a sip of tea and shook his head, letting out a sigh. A powerful squad made up of high-rank talents might stand a chance. It's a pity, though. Li Hongwei has an S-rank lightning talent, and Su Qingxue holds an SS-rank ice talent. One comes from a wealthy clan and looks down on commoners, and the other isn't originally from Kanglan City. Haha, Lao Wu, you can hardly complain about outside help. Didn't you beg to invite that young lady from the Su clan? Isn't that the same thing? Ling Xiaotian laughed and teased him. It's not the same. Principal Wu shook his head, set down his teacup, and leaned back in his chair, a look of dejection crossing his face. The trial dungeon is a nationwide testing ground for newly awakened talents, their first real combat lesson. It represents the foundation of every high school. I know better than anyone how thin Kanglan No. 1 High School's foundations are. That's why I'd rather go without the honor. If people find out, it won't just embarrass Kanglan No. 1 High School, it will shame the whole of Kanglan City. I invited the young lady from the Su clan to enroll at our school simply to draw the attention of higher authorities to us. Ling Xiaotian fell silent after hearing Principal Wu's words. Right then, spatial ripples emanated from the dungeon portal. Qin Feng, Guan Qi, and Su Jiuzhou stepped out in front of the portal. Every school administrator's gaze locked onto them instantly. At the same time, the screen beside the portal displayed a message. Congratulations to Guan Qi's squad for clearing easy mode. Total time, 15 minutes and 20 seconds. They cleared it. Principal Wu rubbed his eyes, put his glasses back on to confirm, then jumped to his feet in excitement. He vaulted over the bench in front of him and hurried over to the three teenagers. He double-checked the clear time. 15 minutes and 20 seconds. Excellent. Truly excellent. Principal Wu repeated 3 times in a row. Ling Xiaotian also walked toward them. His sharp eyes, backed by the imposing aura of a high-ranking official, swept over the trio as if trying to see straight through them. Guan Qi grew uncomfortable under that stare, and Su Jiuzhou quickly hid behind Qin Feng. Seeing this, Principal Wu stepped in front of Qin Feng. Hey Ling Xiaotian, you're scaring my students. If you frighten them, can you take responsibility? Right now, Guan Qi and the others were Principal Wu's most precious treasures. He would not allow anyone to intimidate them. My apologies. Old habit from work. Ling Xiaotian realized he had acted improperly and quickly offered an apology. I'll let it slide this once. Don't do it again, or don't expect me to show you any courtesy, Principal Wu huffed. Though Ling Xiaotian held a higher official rank, his personal relationship with Principal Wu could not compare. Principal Wu had traveled all the way to the provincial capital to invite the Su clan's talented young lady to Kanglan No. 1 High School, something Ling Xiaotian could never accomplish. Lao Wu, I assume this is Guan Qi's student Guan. Ling Xiaotian shifted the subject. That's right. Principal Wu nodded, breaking into a warm smile as he looked at Guan Qi. An SS-rank genius. Truly impressive. You cleared the beginner trial dungeon on your first combat run. You've brought great glory to Kanglan City. Ling Xiaotian spared no praise. Sir, you flatter me. Guan Qi knew exactly who Ling Xiaotian was and was unsure how to address him, so he simply called him sir. Haha, this young man has a fun personality. Ling Xiaotian had never been addressed that way before, and he was amused. By the way, you 3 really cleared the beginner trial dungeon. Ling Xiaotian was not outright skeptical, but the achievement was hard to believe. After all, Guan Qi was a shield warrior, whose damage output could never break through the Golden Minotaur's defense. Su Jiuzhou was a healer, even less capable of dealing damage. That meant the squad's core damage dealer had to be Qin Feng, with nothing but an F-rank talent. How had an F-rank talent pulled this off? Ling Xiaotian was full of questions. Ever since the talent awakening the previous day, files on Guan Qi and Su Jiuzhou had landed on Ling Xiaotian's desk. Qin Feng, who had grown up alongside them, had also drawn Ling Xiaotian's attention. Ling Xiaotian's obvious suspicion annoyed Guan Qi. Of course we did. I see. Could you tell me how you defeated the Golden Minotaur? Ling Xiaotian's gaze drifted subtly toward Qin Feng. Guan Qi hesitated and turned to look at Qin Feng. Are you able to share the details? Ling Xiaotian pressed gently. Can we keep that to ourselves? Guan Qi met Ling Xiaotian's gaze directly. Qin Feng sighed inwardly. Ling Xiaotian was a crafty old fox. With just a few words, he had sized up Guan Qi's straightforward personality and set a trap. Anyone who climbed high in official circles was never simple. Qin Feng had no doubt Ling Xiaotian knew about his relationship with Guan Qi. In all their daily matters, Qin Feng was the one making most of the decisions. Still, Ling Xiaotian had gotten the better of him. It took nothing more than a little provocation from Ling Xiaotian to get Guan Qi to fall for his ploy. Ahem, Ling Xiaotian, why the endless questions? Are you running a census here? Principal Wu stepped forward. Guan earned his clear, fair, and square. Haven't you noticed all three of them have leveled up to level 2? Experience from beating the easy trial dungeon is the only way to hit this milestone. Speaking plainly, as the mayor of Kanglan City, you ought to tend to the city's public security and people's livelihood issues. Why are you lingering around Kanglan number 1 high school meddling in my work as principal? What's more, every awakener possesses their unique innate ability. If a student chooses not to disclose it, you have no right to press them. Has your time in office inflated your sense of authority? Principal Wu smoothly shifted the conversation toward innate abilities. Deep down, he knew full well that Qin Feng was the true backbone behind Guan Qi's squad clearing the dungeon. The bizarre celestial phenomenon that erupted when Qin Feng awakened his talent had left Principal Wu utterly astounded. Since Qin Feng preferred to stay out of the spotlight, the principal had no choice but to shield the youngsters from questioning. Faced with Principal Wu's intervention, Ling Xiaotian dropped his line of inquiry, though suspicions had already taken root in his mind. Whether his guesses were accurate no longer mattered much. Principal, you mentioned we each have 5 attempts to enter the trial dungeon. Can we go in again now? Guan Qi was eager to escape the awkward conversation. Navigating these tense exchanges was draining. A handful of remarks had already put him on the defensive. By all means, feel free to proceed. Principal Wu nodded in approval. Thank you, Principal. Guan Qi bowed respectfully. The three re-entered the dungeon without delay. Now that he had leveled up, Qin Feng once again selected hard mode. Name, Qin Feng class. Archer level, 2250/2000 EXP Trait 1. Hawkeye Grade F, upgradable. Trait 2. Transcendence Blessing bestowed by Earth's will. Consume crystal cores to raise the quality of any item. Effect cannot be scanned externally. Innate passive skill God tier. Dark Reaper equipped gear. Iron Arm bow health points. 210 mana points. 210. Physical attack. 830 magic attack. 65 attack speed. 0.61 physical defense. 65 magic defense. 65 strength. 162 intelligence. 11 agility. 11 constitution. 11 spirit power. 11 unassigned attribute points. 1. Staring at his status panel, Qin Feng felt a flicker of dismay. Was a grade F talent truly this underwhelming? Leveling up only granted +1 to all base stats, alongside a single unassigned attribute point. Old Qi, how many attribute points did you gain from leveling? Qin Feng twisted his head to ask Guan Qi curiously. 15 points total, Guan Qi answered truthfully. 15 points across every attribute. Qin Feng pressed for confirmation. Yep, plus 15 extra unassigned attribute points to distribute however I want. Watching Guan Qi's casual, unconcerned demeanor, Qin Feng could only think his teammate was deliberately flaunting his superior stats. Brother Feng, my gains aren't as high as Qi's. I only got 10 attribute points, Su Jiujiu chimed in from the side. Qin Feng fell silent, struck by the staggering disparity between individuals. A grade F talent was undeniably inferior. S-grade talents yielded 10 times the stat bonuses of F-grade ones, while SS-grade talents delivered 15 times the benefit. What kind of bonuses would an SSS grade talent grant? Taking a deep breath, Qin Feng turned his gaze to his god-tier Dark Reaper passive for a sliver of comfort. Suddenly, his eyes locked onto his grade F Hawkeye trait. 2 words glowed beside its name, upgradable. His pupils constricted sharply at this discovery. If Hawkeye could be upgraded, his Transcendence trait must work on innate talents as well. Could a single exceptional grade crystal core be enough to promote Hawkeye from F to E grade? Qin Feng pondered internally. He focused his mind and activated the Transcendence trait. A system prompt immediately echoed in his mind. Spend 1 exceptional crystal core to upgrade Hawkeye to grade E. Post-upgrade effects. Unobstructed night vision plus greatly enhanced visual range. Grade E Hawkeye unlocks night vision on top of longer sight distance. After reading the updated trait description, Qin Feng did not hesitate. Upgrade. Boost this trait to its new tier immediately. Upgrade successful. No dazzling visual effects. No noticeable commotion. His F-grade Hawkeye evolved into an E-grade ability in an instant. And the exceptional crystal core stored in his inventory vanished entirely. As the trait finished upgrading, subtle changes swept over Qin Feng's eyes. His field of vision stretched noticeably farther. His trait panel now displayed E-grade Hawkeye in place of the original F-grade version. To his pleasant surprise, the 5 core base attributes each received an extra point, and he gained 1 additional unassigned attribute point as well. This pleasant surprise filled Qin Feng with delight. I never knew upgrading talents came with supplementary stat rewards. With this rule in play, I can push my abilities to new heights without restraint. The upgraded trait raised Qin Feng's attack value by 5 points. He held on to his 2 newly acquired unassigned attribute points instead of allocating them right away. He had no shortage of offensive power for the time being, and continuous monster hunts would naturally bolster his stats over time. My base attack is now 835, doubled by my dual strike passive. A standard arrow now deals 1670 damage per shot. Nothing can stand in my way right now. Qin Feng closed his status panel with a satisfied grin and officially activated hard mode, eager to test the dungeon's true difficulty and see if its monsters could withstand a single regular arrow from him. Hard mode activated. Roher. Crush everything before me. The familiar roar echoed out once more, yet the monsters spawned this time were vastly stronger than those in easy mode. Monster. Common Minotaur level, 2 HP, 1000 attack, 100 defense, 20 old chi. These monsters have double the stats of the easy mode variants. Stay vigilant. Qin Feng warned his teammate. Rest easy, brother Feng. Even the level 5 field boss couldn't pierce my defenses, and my stats have jumped significantly after leveling up, Guan Shi replied confidently. Suit yourself, just don't let your guard down. Xiao Jiu, hold off on dealing damage for this fight. Keep an eye on Guan Shi and cast Holy Shield on him whenever needed. Qin Feng instructed Su Jiujiu. Understood. Su Jiujiu nodded and conjured a holy shield that wrapped around Guan Shi's body. Protected by the barrier, Guan Shi charged straight into the horde of monsters, igniting the battle at once. Come on, you overgrown calves. Try scratching this old man. Guan Shi taunted loudly, drawing the aggro of every minotaur in the vicinity. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Minus 1,385 times 2 minus 1,390 times 2 minus 1,395 times 2. Guan Shi held the monster aggro at the front lines, while Qin Feng unleashed a relentless hail of arrows from the rear. Every shot felled a minotaur, and each kill granted him a permanent +1 strength stat via Dark Reaper. Like easy mode, the first wave contained 10 monsters. The only difference was their elevated level. Within mere tens of seconds, Qin Feng eliminated all 10 minotaurs, earning 10 permanent strength points alongside 100 experience points. Higher-level monsters granted greater experience upon being slain. They repeated this farming pattern for wave after wave, the second, third, fourth, and fifth waves. Once all regular foes were wiped out, only the field boss remained, hammering away futilely at Guan Shi's defensive barrier. Monster. Golden Minotaur field boss level, 10 HP, 100,000 attack, 400 defense, 200 skill, heavy hammer strike. Unleash a charged hammer blow dealing 600 damage to all targets within a 5-meter frontal radius and inflicting a 4-second stun effect. Whoosh whoosh minus 1,385 times 2. Qin Feng's strength had climbed to 313, pushing his base attack to a staggering 1585. Each arrow struck the boss for over 2,700 damage after the dual strike multiplier. 100,000 HP sounded insurmountable for Rookie Awakener participants, but against Qin Feng's massive damage output, the boss would fall after merely dozens of standard arrow shots. Though the hard mode Golden Minotaur packed a devastating punch, Guan Shi's 200% defense amplification paired with a 30% universal damage reduction rendered all incoming attacks completely ineffective. After leveling up, Guan Shi had poured every single unassigned attribute point into Constitution, raising his base defense by 150 points and his total HP by 300 points. His raw defense value now sat at 230, which ballooned to an intimidating 840 once his skills and talent buffs were factored in. With 840 total defense, 30% damage reduction, plus an additional fixed 20-point damage mitigation, the level 10 Golden Minotaur posed no greater threat than ordinary minions to Guan Shi. Su Jiujiu simply stood by observing the fight, watching Qin Feng and Guan Shi overwhelm the boss with ease. Whoosh whoosh minus 1,385 times 2. A final damage value floated above the golden minotaur's head before the beast crumpled to the ground in defeat. The noble minotaur will never submit. I shall return. Golden minotaur eliminated. Plus 1,000 EXP. Level up, current level, 3, system notice, Dark Reaper triggered. Plus 1 permanent strength. A warm golden aura enveloped Qin Feng, Guanxi, and Su Jiuzhou simultaneously as all three ascended to level 3. Shortly afterward, the dungeon clear notification blared through their minds. Congratulations to Guanxi's squad for clearing hard mode. Total completion time, 11 minutes 25 seconds, 11 minutes and 25 seconds, nearly 4 minutes faster than our easy mode run. A satisfied smile tugged at Qin Feng's lips upon seeing the clear time. Loot collection time arrived next. As the closest person to the boss corpse, Guanxi picked up the glowing blue crystal core and handed it directly to Qin Feng. This is what you needed, Brother Feng. Qin Feng accepted the crystal without hesitation. Wait a minute, we got a weapon drop. Guanxi let out a surprised exclamation, rummaging through piles of star coins to retrieve a battle blade. Weapon, Minotaur Butcher Blade exceptional grade type, one-handed blade equip level requirement, 5. Physical attack, 50 War Might passive, plus 30 physical attack vigor passive, plus 10 strength scorch passive. All basic attacks deal an extra 10 fire damage that lingers for 3 seconds. This is perfect gear tailored for you, Old Qi. Qin Feng analyzed the blade's base stats and bonus affixes. It's a fantastic piece, but I can't equip it until I hit level 5, Guanxi sighed in disappointment. Level 5 isn't far off. If we run a couple more high-difficulty dungeon runs, we'll reach that threshold quickly, Su Jiuzhou reassured him. You've got a point there, Guanxi nodded. Let's head straight out and queue up for another run. At our current leveling speed, hitting level 5 is only a matter of time. This time, we're jumping straight into nightmare mode. Qin Feng had no intention of turning down the suggestion. He planned to select nightmare mode regardless of Guanxi's urging. He had just reached level 3, and hard mode monsters were capped at level 2. Dark Reaper could no longer harvest additional attribute points from these foes. The trio stepped out of the dungeon portal moments later. The large screen mounted beside the portal instantly updated with their latest record the second they emerged. Congratulations to Guanxi's squad for clearing hard mode. Total completion time, 11 minutes 25 seconds. Principal Wu, Ling Xiaotian, and the other school administrators stared blankly at the displayed time, utterly stunned. 11 minutes and 25 seconds? And it was hard mode on top of that? How could clearing a harder dungeon take less time? The result defied all logical reasoning. While the faculty stood frozen in shock, Guanxi's party darted back into the portal, as if fleeing some terrifying predator. Principal Wu stared at the 3 students who had re-entered the dungeon less than 3 seconds after exiting, lost for words. Had he somehow come across as frightening to his own pupils? No, it can't be my fault. Ling Xiaotian must have spooked them with his earlier interrogation. This explanation fits perfectly. Principal Wu shot Ling Xiaotian a sharp, displeased glare. May I thank you for taking time from your official duties to inspect Kanglan No. 1 High School, Mayor Ling? You've seen everything you came to witness, so I believe it is time for you to return to your municipal affairs. Huh? What's this about? Ling Xiaotian looked utterly confused, unable to recall offending the principal in any way. It dawned on him quickly that his aggressive questioning toward Guanxi had sparked the principal's hostility, and a twinge of regret washed over him. Very well, I shall take my leave for now. I'll swing by for tea with you sometime later. Ling Xiaotian conceded that lingering longer would only create more friction. No need to walk me out. Ling Xiaotian waved off the principal's gesture to escort him. The second Ling Xiaotian departed, Li Hongwei's 6-man squad stumbled out of the portal in a battered, exhausted state. Spotting Principal Wu standing nearby, Li Hongwei hastily tidied his disheveled appearance and forced a bright smile. Inwardly convinced the principal had waited specifically for him. As an S-grade prodigy, he deserved such special treatment. Or so he thought. Li Hongwei stepped forward to greet the principal, but a shout erupted behind him before he could speak. No way, am I seeing this right? Guanxi's squad finished easy mode in 15 minutes 20 seconds, and hard mode in just 11 minutes 25 seconds. A jolt of shock crashed over Li Hongwei like a lightning strike. He slowly twisted his head toward the screen, confirming the 2 dungeon clear records displayed in bold text. This can't possibly be real. Li Hongwei struggled to process the impossible outcome. He was an S-grade lightning mage decked out in full exceptional grade equipment, yet he had failed to clear even the easy trial dungeon. Even with Guanxi's SS-grade talent, How could a pure shield tank pull off a dungeon clear? From what he knew, Guan Chi's team only had 3 members, an S-grade healer and a lowly F-grade archer alongside the tank. There has to be a game bug. That's the only feasible explanation. There is no way 3 students could defeat a field boss through legitimate combat. The dungeon portal rippled with energy once again, and Su Qingxue stepped out clad in her white mage robes and gripping an ice crystal staff. Congratulations to Su Qingxue's squad for clearing easy mode. Total completion time, 33 minutes, 45 seconds. Li Hongwei nearly choked on his own saliva seeing Su Qingxue's successful clear. Could the gap between S-grade and SS-grade talents truly be this monumental? Li Hongwei's resolve and confidence were teetering on the brink of collapse. Qingxue girl, I didn't expect you to clear the dungeon as well. Principal Wu walked over with a warm grin. Su Qingxue's successful run caught him off guard, though he quickly rationalized it. As the privileged heiress of the Su clan, she had access to unlimited rare consumables and items to brute force her way through the trial dungeon. Principal. Su Qingxue nodded politely, then glanced back to review her own clear time on the monitor. Her icy, perpetually calm eyes widened in shock upon spotting the 2 superior records left by Guan Chi's squad. 15 minutes 20 seconds and 11 minutes 25 seconds for hard mode. How is this achievable? I only cleared the dungeon once while they've beaten it twice, including the harder difficulty variant. Su Qingxue had previously believed herself to be the sole student at Kanglan No. 1 high school capable of clearing the trial dungeon. Her long-held pride crumbled completely at the sight of these 2 records. Guan Chi was the only other student who had awakened an SS-grade talent, the sole individual who had ever earned a modicum of her attention. Having grown up surrounded by elite talents, including her brother Su Muyang, a peerless monster with an SSS-grade talent, she had never regarded Guan Chi as a genuine rival. Unlike Li Hongwei, Su Qingxue understood the overwhelming power inherent to SS-grade talents firsthand. Even so, she refused to believe Guan Chi alone could conquer the dungeon. As a common-born student with no access to high-tier gear or unlimited healing potions, his base attack output would never be enough to break through the Golden Minotaur's defenses. A realization flickered across Su Qingxue's sharp gaze. The true source of the squad's strength had to be his teammates. She had arrived at school after Guan Chi had already entered the dungeon, leaving her unaware of his party members' identities. Principal Wu noticed Su Qingxue's dejected expression and rushed to comfort her. You cleared the dungeon solo, so your runtime is naturally longer than their team's coordinated run. There is no need to compare your results to theirs. Principal, I'm all right. Su Qingxue shook her head as she looked toward Principal Wu. Seeing this, Principal Wu sighed inwardly. Sobering up this girl Qingxue a little from her arrogance will actually do her some good. On the other side inside the instance, Qin Feng and his 2 companions kept slaying Minotaurs non-stop. On Nightmare difficulty, all stats of the Minotaurs had doubled once more. Their level had risen from level 2 to level 5. Monster, Ordinary Minotaur level, 5 HP, 2000 attack, 200 defense, 40 even with their boosted stats on Nightmare mode. These Minotaurs posed 0 threat against Qin Feng's devastating damage. A single normal strike was enough to slay each Minotaur instantly. Having cleared the instance twice in a row without guidance from Qin Feng, Guan Chi and Su Juju knew exactly what tasks they needed to handle. Qin Feng simply stood at the back, dealing damage from a stationary position. Time slipped by as Qin Feng drew his bow and loosed arrow after arrow, until the 5th wave of ordinary Minotaurs was wiped out. The familiar Golden Minotaur let out a roar of bitter resentment before collapsing to the ground once again. The Nightmare mode Golden Minotaur was also capped at level 10. It appeared level 10 was the hard level limit for this beginner instance. Its stats were doubled compared to its hard mode variant, yet it was still far too weak to withstand Qin Feng's firepower. Notification: Team Guan Chi has cleared Nightmare mode. Total completion time: 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Feng Ge, if other players see our clear time, do you reckon they'll think higher difficulty settings are somehow easier? Guan Chi joked. I doubt it. Qin Feng shook his head. You can't be too sure, Su Juju said with a grin. Some fool might glance at our record, rush straight into Nightmare, or hell difficulty the second they enter the instance. Qin Feng fell silent, unsure how to respond. Could anyone really be that reckless? Defeating the Golden Minotaur rewarded Qin Feng with another exquisite grade core, alongside an exquisite bracelet drop. Bracelet, Diamond Strength Bracelet Exquisite Grade Type. Accessory Equip Requirement. Level 5 Agility Boost. Agility plus 10 Vigor Boost. Strength plus 10 Swiftness. Attack speed plus 0.1. Shield of Protection. Automatically summons a shield absorbing 300 damage for 10 seconds when HP drops below 30%. 45-second cooldown. This bracelet complemented Qin Feng perfectly, with every stat modifier serving a practical purpose. Unfortunately, he was only level 4 right now and could not equip it yet. After farming hordes of monsters across 3 instance runs, Qin Feng's attack value had grown absurdly high. Name: Qin Feng class. Archer level. For 1750/8000 EXP Talent 1. Eagle Eyes rank E Talent 2. Transcendence Blessing bestowed by Earth. Consume cores to raise quality. Properties undetectable. Innate passive skill God tier. Dark Reaper. Gain 1 random stat point for each enemy slain whose level is equal to or higher than your own. No upper limit. Passive skill rank F. Multi-shot. Fires 1 extra arrow with every basic attack. Equipped weapon. Iron Longbow HP. 260 mana. 260 physical attack. 2365 magic attack. 90 attack speed. 0.66 physical defense. 80 magic defense. 80 strength. 469 intelligence. 16 agility. 16 constitution. 16 spirit. 16 unassigned stat points. 6. Staring at his status panel, Qin Feng felt thoroughly satisfied. Hunting just a few hundred monsters had granted him such massive stat gains. If he headed into the open world or farmed densely packed monster instances, his strength would skyrocket in no time. After collecting all dropped loot, the trio wasted no time exiting the instance. They had cleared this beginner trial dungeon 3 times already, with 2 remaining attempts left. Qin Feng planned to challenge hell difficulty on those final 2 runs. He could keep grinding nightmare mode for his own benefit, but he had teammates to consider. By fighting stronger monsters, Guanxi and Su Jiujiu would level up far faster. Level caps meant nothing to Qin Feng anyway. A level cap locks progression at level 30 until a class advancement quest is completed. Once he hit that threshold, he would be free to tackle high-level instances at will. This plan benefited everyone. His party members leveled rapidly, while he continued to farm bosses and materials non-stop, a win-win arrangement. Outside the instance portal, every school administrator rose to their feet the moment Qin Feng's team reappeared. When the clear duration flashed across the large monitor, shock washed over every single person present. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Zhou Yun, head teacher of Class 2 Senior 3, was overcome with elation, her cheeks flushed bright red. What kind of monstrous student have I nurtured? Excellent, absolutely outstanding. Nightmare mode finished in 8 minutes 46 seconds. Principal Wu darted over to Qin Feng, clapping firmly on the shoulders of both Qin Feng and Guanxi. A true dragon has emerged from Kanglan City. Results this outstanding would rank among the very top nationwide, without a doubt. With this performance, Kanglan No. 1 High School will shock the entire Cangzhou region. No, the whole country, when the national assessment rolls around. Li Hongwei, who had been resting nearby, walked over and voiced the doubt lingering in his mind. Classmate Guan, did you find some sort of exploit inside the dungeon? Growing wise to such accusations, Guanxi wore a solemn expression as he replied. Haven't you figured it out yourself? Wait, there really is a trick. Li Hongwei's eyes lit up with excitement. Of course there is. Guanxi stared at Li Hongwei as if he were slow-witted. This dungeon only has one linear path. Just block the passage and unleash all your damage. Why didn't I think of that? Li Hongwei smacked his thigh in frustration. From beside them, dark lines creased Qin Feng's forehead, while Su Jiujiu clamped a hand over her mouth to hold back laughter. Guanxi had truly mastered the art of blatant fabrication. But there are no movable objects in the dungeon to block the corridor. Li Hongwei pressed for details. Use your teammates, obviously. Guanxi spread his hands casually. If one tank in your party can withstand incoming damage, pull all mobs into a tight cluster and eliminate them gradually. It's that simple. The boss is even easier to handle. Skip clearing the regular monsters first and pull the boss directly. The surrounding minions pin the boss in place so it cannot advance. Attack safely from a distance, and chip away its health once your damage breaks its defense. Li Hongwei drew in a sharp breath after hearing this explanation. How could I overlook such a straightforward strategy? We cleared all the small enemies before engaging the boss. Its charged attack was completely unblockable for our team. Thank you so much for sharing this tip, classmate Guan. Li Hongwei's opinion of Guanxi soared, believing the young man had generously shared valuable dungeon strategy knowledge. Armed with this supposed tactic, Li Hongwei quickly gathered his teammates to attempt another dungeon run. He actually bought that nonsense. Guan Xi shot a glance toward Qin Feng once Li Hongwei left. Qin Feng could only stare blankly in response, stunned by Guan Xi's effortless skill at spinning tall tales. Surprisingly enough, the method Guan Xi made up on the spot would actually work in practice. Not far away, Su Qingxue, who had been eavesdropping, widened her eyes. She had never imagined such an exploit existed within the beginner trial dungeon. Her enthusiasm faded quickly. However, she was tackling the dungeon alone with no teammate to tank aggro for her. Her spell damage was far too high, wiping out all regular mobs in mere hits. Without minions to contain the boss, it would advance toward her unimpeded just as it had in her previous attempt. Su Qingxue had only cleared easy mode by relying on her innate talent and crowd control slows to slowly whittle the boss down over time. Clearing easy mode boosted her to level 2. As another SS grade talent wielder, she received 15 bonus base stats plus 15 unassigned stat points upon leveling up. Mages received immense power spikes with every level gained. Hoping to speed up her dungeon clears, Su Qingxue allocated all her free points into intelligence. 30 extra intelligence raised her magic attack by 150 points and drastically amplified her spell potency. At level 2, she would finish an easy mode run far quicker. Regaining her composure, Su Qingxue queued up for another attempt. Qin Feng's group did not linger outside. 2 attempts remained, and they hoped to finish quickly so they could head home. A low hum resonated as the spatial distortion rippled across the instance portal, and the trio entered their next challenge. Qin Feng selected Hell difficulty without hesitation. Based on stat scaling, regular Hell mode monsters should have double the attributes of nightmare foes. Roar. Monsters spawned moments later, their stat panels popping up for Qin Feng to view instantly. Monster. Ordinary Minotaur level, 10 HP, 5000 attack, 500 defense, 100. Qin Feng frowned slightly upon reading these values. The monster's stats exceeded his initial projections. Even so, with his current 2,365 physical attack, 1 normal strike was still enough to slay each Minotaur with ease. Without needing any prompts from Qin Feng, Guan Xi activated his talent and cast Fortified Barrier to taunt and gather all incoming monsters. Su Juzhou promptly wrapped a holy shield around Guan Xi for additional protection. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They stuck to their established routine, leaving Qin Feng free to focus purely on ranged damage output from the rear. None of the Minotaurs could break through Guan Xi's defensive frontline. System Notice. Defeated level 10 Minotaur. EXP plus 50 System Notice. Defeated level 10 Minotaur. EXP plus 50. System Notice. Dark Reaper activated. Plus 1 Strength System Notice. Dark Reaper activated. Plus 1 Strength. A steady stream of system notifications scrolling across his interface filled Qin Feng with delight. Eventually, the last regular mob fell, and it was time to face the dungeon boss. Monster. Golden Minotaur Monarch rank level, 10 HP, 1 million attack, 1500 defense, 1000 skill. Hammer Strike. Unleash a charged blow dealing 2000 damage to all targets within a 10-meter forward radius, stunning struck targets for 5 seconds. Holy hell, a Monarch rank Minotaur. Guan Xi exclaimed the second he scanned the boss's stats. 1,000,000 HP and 1500 attack damage. This is insane. Even Qin Feng sucked in a breath at these terrifying numerical values. Lao Qi, can you tank its attacks? I've got this. Guan Xi glanced at his boosted defense value of 1500 with his talent active and nodded confidently. Having leveled up 3 times, Guan Xi had poured every unassigned stat point into Constitution. His base Constitution stat reached 100, translating to 500 base physical defense. Stacked with the 200% defense multiplier from his talent, his total defense hit 1500, not including the extra 50 defense from Fortified Barrier. Unfortunately, clearing the 150 Hell mode regular monsters had not pushed him over the level threshold. He was only 250 EXP short. A single additional level would let him tank this Monarch boss completely without taking damage. Even as things stood, the 30% damage reduction from his talent, paired with Su Juzhou's shields and heals, left him fully capable of enduring the boss's assaults. Reassured by Guan Xi's confidence, Qin Feng relaxed. If the boss proved too deadly, they could simply retreat. There was no reason to risk their lives recklessly. Revival items did not exist for this trial, and death within the dungeon meant permanent real-world fatalities. Whoosh, whoosh. 2115x 2 damage values floated above the boss's head. Killing the 150 Minotaurs had raised Qin Feng's strength by another 150 points, pushing his raw attack to 3115. Subtracting 1,000 defense, each arrow dealt roughly 2,000 damage. Combined with multi-shot, every volley struck for over 4,000 total damage. The Monarch Golden Minotaur's million HP pool looked massive on paper, yet to Qin Feng, it was nothing more than an oversized health reservoir to deplete slowly but surely. Qin Feng loosed arrows relentlessly as the boss's health ticked downward bit by bit. When the Golden Minotaur's HP dropped to 80%, it finally unleashed its signature skill. Insects, tiny little insects. I will crush you all. The Golden Minotaur roared, raising its massive hammer. Lao Qi, dodge immediately, do not take this hit head-on. Qin Feng shouted a warning toward Guan Qi. Guan Qi was already sprinting away before Qin Feng spoke the words. There was no sense tanking a 2,000 damage skill when evasion was a simple, risk-free option. Once Guan Qi fled the skill's blast radius, Qin Feng refocused his fire on the boss. Jujio, keep a close eye on Lao Qi's HP bar at all times. Understood, Feng Gu. Su Jujio replied with a nod. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 2115x2. The boss could not move while charging its heavy strike, giving Qin Feng a safe window to deal unopposed damage. Minus 2115x2. This cycle of kiting and attacking wore the Monarch boss down steadily. 75% HP, 60% HP, 30% HP, 10% HP. Whoosh, whoosh. Minus 2115x2. After an arduous drawn-out fight, the Golden Minotaur finally collapsed onto the ground. Roar. How could the noble Minotaur fall like this? I refuse to accept defeat. The Monarch Minotaur breathed its last with a cry of despair. A shower of colorful materials spilled out from the boss's corpse, with a striking purple beam of light standing out above the rest. We got a purple drop. Guan Qi's eyes lit up with excitement as he hurried to dig the item free from the loot pile. Feng Gu, it's an epic grade core. Qin Feng stepped forward quickly, inspecting the core closely. Its regal purple hue was immensely pleasing to behold, and he stowed it securely in his inventory afterward. Every awakened human received a system inventory upon unlocking their innate talent for item storage. There's another bracelet drop too, exquisite grade and mage, focused, perfect for you, Jujio. Guan Qi handed the trinket over to Su Jujio. Thank you, Qigo. Su Jujio accepted the bracelet happily and pulled up its stat description for the group to view. Bracelet. Minotaur's Resolve Band, exquisite grade type. Accessory equip requirement. Level 10 Wisdom Blessing. Intelligence plus 20 Essence Blessing. Spirit plus 20 cooldown reduction. All skill cooldowns reduced by 20%. Mana regeneration. Restores 3 mana per second. Item lore. The Minotaur race forever lacked wisdom. This bracelet embodies their endless longing for it. The Minotaur race craved wisdom above all else. That explained the item's name, Minotaur's Resolve Band. Examining this Monarch boss drop gave Qin Feng a critical clue. Minotaurs possessed no natural aptitude for intelligence. That explains why Dark Reaper only harvests strength stat points from these monsters. Qin Feng muttered to himself internally. He then turned towards Su Jujio. This bracelet has fantastic stats overall, especially the cooldown reduction, which pairs perfectly with mage builds. You just need to reach level 10 to equip it. It's no trouble at all, Su Jujio said cheerfully as she stored the bracelet away. With your absurd damage output, we'll hit level 10 before we know it. True enough, Qin Feng nodded in agreement. After gathering every piece of dropped loot, the three players checked their official dungeon record. Notification: Team Guan Qi has cleared Hell Mode. Total completion time: 14 minutes and 14 seconds. 14 minutes and 14 seconds. Guan Qi turned to Qin Feng curiously. Where do you think this record ranks nationwide? I have no idea. Qin Feng shook his head. Hundreds of thousands of people awaken their talents each year across the country, including peerless prodigies with SSS-grade talents. Teams built around such top-tier awakeners with high-grade gear could very well pull off Hell Mode clears as well. Take yourself for example, you're an SS-grade talent with only basic equipment, yet you can still tank this Monarch boss. Imagine how powerful heirs from powerful clans would be with proper resources. You've got a point there, Guan Qi nodded thoughtfully. We must never underestimate the countless talented people across the country. There is always someone stronger beyond the horizon. Let's wrap up and head out. One attempt left, finish it, and we can go home. Qin Feng patted Guan Qi's shoulder. The trio exited the dungeon together shortly afterward. The instant they reappeared at the portal entrance, Principal Wu's face split into a grin as bright as a blooming sunflower. Even with decades of practiced emotional restraint, The principal lost his composure the moment he saw their Helm Mode clear record. Hell Mode completed in 14 minutes 14 seconds. You actually dared to challenge Hell difficulty. My heart can't take this much excitement. I'm an old man, after all. He then leaned in close to Qin Feng and whispered in a hushed tone. Qin Feng, tell me the truth privately. Is your talent really only rank F? At the words, Qin Feng knitted his brows and stared silently at Principal Wu without uttering a word. Do not be nervous. I mean you no harm. On the contrary, I intend to help you grow rapidly. Seeing Qin Feng withhold a response, Principal Wu went on speaking. I will not make empty promises. Tell me whatever resources you require, and I will acquire them for you. I carry considerable influence across Kanglan City. Principal Wu openly extended his goodwill toward Qin Feng, fully aware that gifted individuals required massive resources to mature. Moreover, he had pinpointed Qin Feng's most pressing needs. Now convinced Principal Wu harbored no malicious intent, Qin Feng eased his wariness slightly. Still, there was no sense in turning down legitimate benefits. I must keep my transcendent talent concealed, so I will decline any offers of crystal cores. I can always purchase them from the Myriad Treasures Pavilion. Qin Feng thought swiftly to himself. Right now, my top priority is gaining access to more city dungeons to farm monsters while leveling up Guan Qi and Su Jujiu alongside me. With this resolve, Qin Feng lifted his gaze toward Principal Wu. I need access tickets to all other dungeons within the city, with full autonomy for our team during our runs, free from outside interference of any kind. When Principal Wu heard such a modest request, he pressed further. Are there any other materials you need? High-grade equipment, advanced skill tomes, perhaps? Nothing for the time being. Qin Feng shook his head, unwilling to form deep ties with anyone, as such connections inevitably brought unneeded trouble. Very well then. Principal Wu nodded. I will issue a seed contestant credential from Kanglan No. 1 High School shortly. With this document, you will be granted entry into every dungeon under Kanglan City's jurisdiction. A seed contestant credential? Qin Feng looked confused. Principal Wu smiled faintly in explanation. Seed contestants are specially selected candidates for the National College entrance examination taking place 1 month from now. All members of the seed roster receive municipal resource subsidies, including unrestricted dungeon access for combat leveling. I understand now. These seed contestants served as Kanglan City's representatives. Outstanding exam performances from these students would attract greater national resource allocations for the region. It was a mutually beneficial arrangement. Qin Feng gained abundant state-backed resources, while Principal Wu reaped rewards from the students' achievements. Given this fair exchange, Qin Feng saw no reason to reject the offered privileges. Refusing them would only put him at a disadvantage. With his overpowered Dark Reaper talent, he could not fathom how formidable he would become within a single month. The college entrance exam would be nothing more than a trivial game by then. Since Qin Feng had accepted his favor, Principal Wu took his silence as implicit acknowledgement that Qin Feng's true talent was far more exceptional than his publicly listed F rank evaluation. Wise people knew when to stop probing into another's secrets. The two exchanged a few meaningless pleasantries before Qin Feng departed with Guan Qi and Su Jujiu to enter the trial dungeon. An F rank Eagle Eye talent, most intriguing. This year's national exam competition is going to be spectacular, Principal Wu muttered to himself as he watched the dungeon teleport gate. He strongly suspected Qin Feng possessed a second hidden talent. Conventional wisdom dictated each person awakened only a single innate talent in their lifetime, yet exceptions did exist. And Wu himself was one such anomaly. This closely guarded secret was known to fewer than 5 people across the entire Xia Kingdom, including Su Wu, patriarch of the Su clan and grandfather of Su Qingxue. Wu had once revealed his secondary talent to Su Wu during their younger years, and it was thanks to Su Wu's backing that he secured the position of principal at Kanglan No. 1 High School. Using this same hidden ability as leverage, he had persuaded the Su clan to transfer Su Qingxue to his school. Wu's second talent was named Limit Break, an SS rank ability. True to its name, it could break through inherent power restrictions. Though immensely powerful, it came with strict limitations, usable only 5 times across his entire lifespan, exclusively applicable to innate talents, and capped at boosting SS rank talents to SSS rank. He had already expended 4 of his 5 uses. His final charge was traded to the Su clan 3 years prior, in exchange for Su Qingxue's enrollment at Kanglan No. 1 High School on the condition that she deliver strong exam results for the school. Su Wu had readily agreed. The Su clan status meant Su Qingxue's schooling location held little long-term long-term importance. It is a shame I no longer have a remaining charge. I could have elevated Guan Chi's talent to SSS rank. Principal Wu sighed inwardly. Still, Qin Feng is an unusually calculating youth, hard for even me to fully read. That is for the best. Those who hide their strength and resist material temptation always travel further along the path of cultivation. Inside the trial dungeon, Guan Chi had finally equipped the butcher's cleaver dropped by the Minotaur monster he had long coveted. He pulled aggro on groups of foes while slashing relentlessly. Wielding this level 5 excellent grade weapon boosted his attack power to 405. Each strike dealt several hundred damage points to the Minotaurs, paired with periodic 10-point burn damage ticks floating above their heads. Though negligible against the monster's 5,000 health pools, every bit of damage contributed to the fight. This is incredible. This is what real combat feels like. Guan Chi grew more invigorated with every swing. Qin Feng watched him from the rear with quiet exasperation at the teen's overly enthusiastic demeanor. Now level 5, Qin Feng wore the Diamond Vajra bracelet, pushing his base physical attack to 3,930 alongside 782 strength points and an attack speed of 0.78. Improved attack frequency meant he could land blows in quicker succession. Initially requiring 2 seconds per strike upon entering the dungeon, he now attacked once every 1.5 seconds, a massive combat improvement. Just as in previous runs, the Golden Minotaur Lord collapsed with a roar of defeat, omitting its signature catchphrase of promising revenge. A small Easter egg unique to this dungeon, as Infernal Mode represented the highest available difficulty setting. Qin Feng had favorable loot luck this run. Alongside the guaranteed Crystal Core drop, an unexpected epic grade longbow materialized from the boss corpse. Weapon, Minotaur Golden Horn Bow Epic Grade Type. Bow Equip Requirement, Level 10 Physical Attack, 200 Conquest, plus 50 Physical Attack Brute Force, plus 30 Strength Swiftness, plus 0. 2 Attack Speed Deadly Strike, plus 5% Critical Chance Description, forged from the unyielding will of the Minotaur tribe. No matter how formidable the foe, these horns will taste their blood. A brutally powerful bow, Qin Feng stowed the weapon safely in his inventory bag. Brother Feng, we've walked away with massive gains from these 5 runs of the beginner trial dungeon. I've never held this much star currency before. Guan Chi beamed, displaying their combined earnings to Qin Feng and Su Jujio. Over 10,000 star coins. I'm speechless. Brother Feng, Brother Chi, I'm buying a plate of grilled meat tonight. Make it 2 plates. Su Jujio's eyes lit up with excitement seeing their wealth. Whatever Jujio wants. We'll eat to our heart's content tonight. Order anything you fancy. Qin Feng agreed warmly. Having lived in this world for over a decade, he had never possessed such financial freedom before. A well-deserved indulgence was long overdue. Hooray for Brother Feng. Su Jujio jumped for joy at his approval. I've always heard that awakening a top-tier talent frees you from lifelong financial struggle, and now I've seen it firsthand, Guan Chi remarked thoughtfully. Save the idle musings. Other people's lives are none of our concern. We only need to look out for ourselves. Qin Feng clapped Guan Chi on the shoulder. Let's head back outside now. Got it. Guan Chi nodded, and the trio composed themselves before exiting the dungeon instance. The moment they stepped out, the large public screen flashed their clear time instantly. Congratulations to Team Guan Chi for clearing Infernal Mode in 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Unbelievable. They conquered Infernal difficulty in under 13 minutes. Principal Wu's perspective on Qin Feng shifted entirely. He could no longer decipher the team's true strength, especially the hidden depths within Qin Feng's talent. While students cleared the National Beginner Dungeon's Infernal difficulty each year, the established record hovered around the 30-minute mark. Qin Feng's team had finished both of their previous runs within 15 minutes, and this latest time was staggeringly fast at 12:43. I never imagined I would witness such a miracle in my later years, Principal Wu murmured to himself. He retrieved 3 red booklets and handed one to each member of the trio. These are the official seed contestant permits issued by the school. They grant you free, unopposed entry into every dungeon within Kanglan City's jurisdiction. Thank you, Principal. Qin Feng accepted the documents with genuine gratitude. Regardless of whatever underlying motives Principal Wu held, this permit was critical to his current plans. Principal Wu waved off his thanks. You earned this fair and square. Your dungeon records will shock the entire country once uploaded to the national headquarters. Prepare yourselves. Numerous factions will attempt to recruit and poach you free. Alongside opportunities come inevitable troubles. His eyes narrowed slightly as he continued. I am not worried about outside recruitment. My greater concern is rival forces resorting to underhanded tactics to eliminate talents they cannot claim for themselves. Rest assured, my standing in Kanglan City shields you from open harassment, yet covert schemes remain a genuine threat. One vital warning: never leave the city limits under any circumstances. He laid out all associated risks and benefits thoroughly for the three teenagers. We understand. Thank you for the cautionary advice, Qin Feng replied respectfully. Having lived 2 lifetimes, he inherently practiced extreme caution. Even without this warning, he avoided contact with unfamiliar individuals, particularly signs of powerful noble clans. Aristocratic factions proved troublesome even in peaceful eras, let alone this supernaturally charged world. For now, his sole goal was uninterrupted dungeon farming. Aside from Guanxi and Su Jiujiu, he trusted no one, not even Principal Wu standing before him. He already possessed sufficient strength to carve out his place in this realm and required no outside favors. Let others boast their power. In a few short years, they will be the ones scrambling to speak on equal footing with me. After bidding Principal Wu farewell, the three left the school grounds without lingering. Principal Wu watched their departing backs before returning his gaze to the public screen, a satisfied feeling stirring within him as he reread their blistering, clear time. Perhaps these three youngsters will one day put Kanglan City on the map across the entire continent. The thought crossed his mind, surprising even himself. A boisterous laugh pulled him from his contemplations. I've finally cleared the dungeon. I'm Li Hongwei. Li Hongwei and his teammates emerged from the dungeon portal. The screen updated with their statistics. Congratulations to Team Li Hongwei for clearing easy mode in 35 minutes and 12 seconds. This runtime was comparable to Su Qingshue's solo clear time, though her solo feat carried vastly more prestige. An obvious divide between an S rank and SS rank talent. Minor differences in low-level equipment stats could never bridge such an innate gap. Li Hongwei's laughter died abruptly when he spotted Guanxi's team's records. No way am I seeing things. He rubbed his eyes hard and stared back at the leaderboard display. Infernal mode cleared in 14:14, and another run at 12:43? Principal, is this data legitimate? Principal Wu smiled faintly. The dungeon system never generates false records. Li Hongwei fell speechless. He had prided himself on beating easy mode, especially knowing Su Qingshue's solo run also took over 30 minutes. The newly displayed records shattered his sense of accomplishment. I cannot fall behind. My S rank talent grows drastically stronger with every level up. Li Hongwei clenched his jaw in frustration. If I cannot match Guanxi's team, I can at least surpass Su Qingxue. Outperforming an SS rank talent from the renowned Su clan would be a worthy honor in its own right. Fueled by renewed determination, he led his teammates back into the dungeon once more. Shortly after Li Hongwei's group entered the instance, Su Qingxue walked out of the portal. Having reached level 2, she had allocated all free attribute points into intelligence, boosting her spell damage by an additional 150 points. Her latest clear time dropped to 26 minutes and 37 seconds, a full 7-minute improvement over her first attempt. She, too, was stunned upon viewing Guanxi's team's Infernal Mode record of 12:43. No one has ever finished Infernal Mode in under 30 minutes since this beginner dungeon was implemented. Yet I am seeing proof with my own eyes right now. The number filled her with quiet despair. Her curiosity toward the trio deepened, most of all toward Qin Feng with his supposedly F-rank talent. She had witnessed the bizarre multicolored phenomenon during his talent awakening ceremony the previous day and dismissed it as an odd anomaly at the time. Now it was clear that his listed F-rank talent was nothing but a deliberate disguise.